Oh, yeah. All right, I need to know. Are we live? I'm doing this slightly different. I'm actually doing this using the laptop today. Because I got technical difficulties with the PC for the past 2 days, and the PC doesn't go past the main boot log thing. It just doesn't load Windows. I need technical support. Maybe after the show later in the afternoon, I'll try to contact a few of you. We'll do a call. I'll show you what I see on my PC and let's try to figure it out, man. I was disappointed yesterday that I couldn't do a show for that, so I set it up Streamlabs on my laptop, and hopefully it have enough juice to push Discord, the Google browser, and Streamlabs all at once. But as for right now, I think you guys can hear me. I don't know if it's loud and clear. At least you can hear me. Well, let's hit the intro. Here we go.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
Damn, how was that? I don't know if that was good, if that was really laggy. I have no idea. I hope that it was okay. I got an excellent connection, but I don't have a strong power. I actually made the freaking beginning for once. Damn, shout out to Tommy Grumvold. I see you. The newest member of the channel, Pronon 1990. Can I try let me try the camera over here to see if this works. All right, if I click this and I turn this up, you should be able to see me, hopefully, maybe. Oh, no, you don't. Damn it. Hold on. I'll do the shoutouts in a second. There you go. Let's see if that works. Dude, this is dragging. It's lagging, man. I hope we can do it. Well, shout out to Pronoun Farmer's Boy, Martin, Fred Bailey. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I think we made it. I think the camera is on. It's gonna be slightly slow with the show while the camera decides to work. I don't know if you can hear me and how can you hear me. Bobby Alaskan Explorer. What's up? Anamorphic Mind. I need I need feedback on if you guys can see me. I see you. I see the count. I see there's people here. I see the chat box. I see the chat box. I see the YouTube count over here somewhere. Can I point it like that right there? Very good, very good. Hell yeah. How is the stream? Really laggy or is like meh? It's fine. Yeah, good. Well, what I'm gonna stop this for now. Being cold today. No, it's not cold, man. It's not cold. I have to cancel a couple of tabs because they will, Batman. I read Batman somewhere around. I watched the Batman movie on Friday afternoon, and I have not been able to give you my honest review on the Batman. Stream is good, excellent. Thank you. Let's quick the frogs. Let's quick the earth with the happy frogs. We got the whole frog family here. We have Mama Frog. Hey, easy, easy. Don't just squeak without me. We got Papa Frog. We got Mama Frog, and we got Baby Frog. Papa Frog goes mobbit mobbit. Mama Frog goes mobbit mobbit. Baby Frog goes mobbit mobbit. There we go. Now let's do it. Yay! Now what I see on my end, the microphone, I mean, something is lagging, but I hope that you guys can still hear me. So that's my expectation. I know I will get a big stop. Just type stop or something that is so fucked up that you guys when you guys cannot hear me properly. All right, that's my expectation that you guys give me a green light. Boom, very good. Gariway Benga Patio Furniture Truth Nerds Secret G Mr. Victory's Radio. Very good. Oh, Alem, I think I say Charlie Welch. I think I say hello to everybody now. And if I didn't, well, my most sincere apologize. I am streaming differently today, like I did back in the day. In the beginning of the day, I was using my laptop only to stream. Lately, over a year ago, I've been using my PC, strong stream, powerful connection. But since 2 days ago, I had turned it on, and it shows the BIOS, the computer BIOS, the main settings. It doesn't load Windows whatsoever. I don't know what happened. I turned it off. I unplugged everything. I did a hard reset and nothing. I don't know if it's not reading the hard drive. I don't know if it's something is going on, and I'm gonna need technical support after this. Hopefully, we can get my main PC up and back and running again. So everybody doing alright? Stone Monkey, I see you, brother. All I need to do now is test Discord now with the streaming going on and all the good shenanigans. Oh, big thank you to you who shared the show on Discord, Mr. Wow. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Well, let's see how this works. Let me go to the YouTube live and hopefully this will be a successful one. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tricky. Oh, well, I think the screen share and all that stuff is pushing a little bit too much. So let's see. I'm still trying to tweak and move, do some stuff around while we get it. Once we get the Discord going, I think we'll be fine. But it's just while the apps kick off and start working is when it gets a little trickier. See, it's still connecting over here for me. It shows connecting on Discord. So I don't know. Let's see. The good thing, at least, I'm not connected via Wi-Fi. I'm is hardwire connected on the Ethernet. We'll still get it there. Sean Smith, boom. Carl Christopherson, Truth Nerds. You guys hear me? Not yet. All right. Well, YouTube can hear me. I don't think that the guys can hear me over here on the Discord. So let me see. Oh, I kind of heard something.
Yeah, I heard you robot for a second.
All right.
Ooh,
Check 1, 2.
no. That's right.
Yeah, very robot-y.
Hang there. I'm working on it.
Oh.
I'm working on it. Oh man.
Doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I don't know. Oof.
All right, I'm
No, he's
working
doing
on it, guys.
I think he's pushing his laptop to the limit.
Yeah, I think
Well.
I am. I think he's going to solid now. I think you guys hear me now.
Oh,
that's
now
better.
we can
Yes,
hear you.
that's much
Wow.
better.
Yes. The camera when I mean, depends on what I got open on Streamlabs. Like the camera, it just uses a lot. Once I turn that off, I think this is going out a lot better.
No, you sound that. Yeah, you sound absolutely fine now. Obviously, like I just said to Marvel Man, you're pushing your laptop to the limit, aren't you?
Pushing it to the limits, big time, bro. Hell yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm pushing my iPad to the limit. It's like, yeah. I mean, then again, I have a laptop and I need to work on it better. So.
Right. Yeah, stream audio is perfect. They say over here. I don't think that my camera is gonna work because I already got it connected on the Streamlabs, so I don't even want to try to turn my camera on in here. I actually tried it for a second, but I ain't doing that again.
Fair enough, dude.
Yeah, man. Very good. Good to see you, Farmer's Boy, Marble Merman, and Left Lane. What's up?
So you've had
Good morning.
of trying to fix your PC then.
Dude, yeah, my PC is headache, fucking headache, and I'm frustrated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would frustrate me too.
So I say, like,
I'm
damn,
sure.
I got, I need to, until I fix it, I want to still do the stream, so I'm gonna have to use the laptop, which I know it was really laggy, even trying to screen share without having that extra layer of Streamlabs or OBS on in the background. So yeah, I'm pushing it. Oh, it's all good. I guess, we got a show going and the audience can hear us. And I think I'm going to, the only way that I can monitor this is taking a quick look on my phone over here. So if you hear, there you go. Not bad.
Yep. Fine.
Yeah, and it looks good. It looks clean. Just the squares, just us over here on Discord. It's very good. I'm happy.
Just don't turn your camera on.
I will not turn my camera on, but right now I actually have a first PayPal hit, and I received it when I turned my phone on. Sean Smith hit me up with a $10 PayPal. Jose, here is to you. I hope you are well. Still need to come visit you at some point. Hails to the yeah, man, Sean. I'm looking forward for that. I know you are in Florida, even though Florida is fucking big, If you want to go from freaking the north is like Jacksonville to the south is like Miami and below, it is what 6 7 8 hours probably if you just hauling ass really fast. It's big, man. Florida is huge. Looking forward to meet you, Chen, anytime. The Batman movie, what have you heard? I went the honest first impression. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. It was everything that I imagined it and a little bit more. It was Batman Year 2. Pretty much they actually like say that in the movie. I'm not gonna give like big spoilers, even though there's like nothing to spoil. More of the details in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a earlier Batman, so he's already got he's got the Bat Cave, he's got the uniform, he got a big ass muscle car, you know, the Batmobile. Uh, he's more of a he like a nocturnal guy. He like almost don't face the public, even though he's this millionaire. He's more on the Batman, like doing the Batman thing more than the Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne show up a few times in the movie, but it's more of a Batman focus. And this Batman is like in the crime scenes. He is like working right hand side with Commissioner Gordon, you know. He's like all the cops, and they're like, "What the hell is this guy doing here, man?" And he like, "I got gloves. Like I'm good. I've got gloves." You know, like weird stuff like that. And his voice is good. He looks disturbed, like this vigilante, but he goes by the no killing, you know, thing. Even though he's what the hell? Even though he's hardcore, he just doesn't kill, you know, doesn't like killing people and stuff. What do you call Batgirl or whatever? No, no Batgirl.
Catwoman.
Catwoman. Yeah, the she's a great actress, beautiful performance. The dude that played Batman, Robert Pattinson or whatever his name is, beautiful performance. He did great. Everybody, great actors. Colin Farrell killed it. The dude that plays the Riddler killed it. Like this disturbed villain that looks like just a next door good guy neighbor, and he's he's fucked in the mind, you know. Uh, good
Big old Bat.
good story, kind of a slow burn, but it doesn't feel too long, even though the movie is like 3 hours long. He kept me sitting down. It was really good, man. As I heard in the reviews, the third act, like by the end of the movie, like in the second act, everything got kind of wrapped up, you know. Everything got sorted out with the villains and all that stuff. But still, in the third act, they still need to pick up some pieces because it was a big event that took place and they had to kind of sort that out. So it was a little bit of an awe, me sitting down like, damn, they couldn't end the movie even though you have to put in your imagination. Then how did they fix this situation that this villain created? And that's shown in the third act, like how they kind of put everything back in place. It's good, man. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. Not the type of Batman movie that you want to go and see flashy gadgets and fantasy bullshit. Is very grounded, dark, gritty, and really really good movie. That's my review on the Batman. Yeah.
Oh, that's at least good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think sometimes they can pay too much attention on flashy gadgets and shit like that. It's like that. The story. Get the story right, you know. It sounds promising. I did try to watch. I watched 20 seconds of that cam version on that website. Jose.
It's dark, man.
Oh my!
Because the movie is actually dark. Oh fucking A. Yeah, it's impossible to see a bad copy of it.
It's. I mean, I know it's somebody in the cinema with a camera filming it, but my God, I couldn't watch that.
Nah, you're kidding, man. Yeah.
I don't watch it. I just thought, out of interest, I thought, how bad is it? Oh, yeah, it's that bad. Yeah, okay.
It's that bad.
I got a shout out, John Rapp, for a $2 Australian super chat. Thank you very much, John Rapp. 4:15 a.m. Who's that making all the noise? Yeah, that's us right here, man. Thank you for the super chat, brother.
We're just the voices in your head, mate. Don't worry, go back to sleep.
Yep.
What is this sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was good, man. I was like, what am I gonna, what did I get myself into? Because I was hyped to see the Batman, but as I was walking to the movie theater, I like, I don't know, man. Because what I heard, I wasn't ready to watch a long drama detective-esque movie. But once I was in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe the first like action scene, you know, as the movie began. You see in the trailer, like that big fight with the guys, like Joker look like little, you know, with the face painted, just a bunch of goons from the streets or whatever, little gang. That's kind of the opening scene on the movie. It's long and extended, but it's really good. That catches your attention on what are you getting yourself into, you know.
Yeah, that's how you got to get a movie in.
Yeah, man.
Good. Well, I'll keep an eye out. For that when it's when it's on our favorite streaming services. Then
Yeah, man. And I think they could do a trilogy. They could extend it a little more. I mean, because in this movie, you know, the doors are open for all of them. You know, it wasn't the main villain was kind of the Riddler, but still, you know, he got locked up at the end. And in the same jail, there's more people that could be in the other movies. You know, they could save, they could work together. The Penguin, you know, he's still in the streets. The Penguin is he was this big shot in the streets, but he wasn't the biggest one. You know, the biggest one got taken care of in this movie, and now the Penguin is kind of the big shot now. So he could be it. You know, in the next movies. Good stuff, man. Yeah,
good stuff.
And I'm done doing my Batman.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It wasn't too spoilery. Maybe something celeb, but it wasn't too bad. You know, you still see a movie, you're gonna get surprised. You're gonna enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Woo! It's hot in here. The first day that I feel warm and hot, almost sweaty, to the sweaty point.
Oh, well, I'm freezing my ass out here.
I just went out on the bike because it was clear blue skies. The road was dry. Oh yeah, no, it's still quite chilly out there. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll check my temperature. We just got a big snowstorm, so let's see what it is outside.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. You guys, is still breaking up a little bit?
No.
Okay. I got. Yeah. I'm frustrated, bro. Just the just not being able to do the stream my way. You know, the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, and it's 19 degrees outside.
Anamorphic Mind with a $5 super chat. Sorry to break it to you, Jose, but Batman and Robin is still the best movie. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Are you talking from the 70s, from the 80s, or the 2000s?
Yes, definite sarcastic on the end there. Oh dear, yeah.
The 2000s one was something.
Yes, it definitely was something.
Yep.
Oh, apparently it'll be on HBO Max in 45 days. I can wait that long.
That ain't bad.
Yep. Because I remember back in the day they'd release a film and you're lucky if it came out on video in the next 2 years.
Woo!
Some of them took longer than that. I think E.T. took something, was it 5 years, 8 years, something stupid like that.
Hallway fight scene. Hey, no spoilers over there on Discord. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not watching any of those clips.
Yeah, don't watch any of that shit. Come on.
I'll wait till I see it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough because what if I decide to screen share? What will happen? Will it start lagging really bad? That's what I want to know. Did it break up?
It did.
Fucking A.
I said, don't put you got to be careful. Your laptop's struggling.
Yeah. So if I try to screen share, I just want to try.
Okay.
Will it probably get really bad? Okay, it is on.
Right, gotcha.
Screen share is on, but I might be roboting a little bit, right?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe it's in the beginning of when I start talking. It like take an extra second for my voice to kick off. I see it when the thing turn on, you know.
Yeah. No, but you're coming through quite clear. It might just be that it struggles when you put your camera on.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the biggest struggle. So I'm not even gonna try to screen share. It's killing it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go. That should be better. I just shared the main page on Discord. Careful what you put in there. All right. Yeah, who I think Beeble and Stingray should be able to help me better on the issue of my computer. After the show, I'll try to contact any of them and
Yeah,
show them.
I'm sure in amongst all the regulars, there must be somebody who's, really computer savvy.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue.
And I know Beeble because he actually built computers and put them together. And I'm pretty sure that he's familiar with the menu that I got when the computer turned on, this BIOS menu. If I gotta do,
Yes.
I don't know, if I gotta unplug something and plug it back in, like inside the actual physical computer, or if it's an option that I missed, even though I gone through all the options and tried to do it myself, looking up on how to fix it, nothing's working out.
Yeah, somebody will know what to do or suggest things to try.
Yeah, man.
It's like my PC. If my webcam's plugged in, it won't boot up properly. It just gets there and hangs because it did it the other day. Oh, what the hell's up with this thing? I thought, oh yeah, unplug the webcam. Fine.
Hmm.
So it could be some silly little thing somewhere, or it just needs a starting up in safe mode and trying a few things, or God help you, you've killed it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's one extreme or the other, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey,
Hey, Jose.
hey, Dross is a computer guy too.
Yeah.
I've had a decade or three of experience.
Then you go, then you me. You know your shit. Let me see if
Well,
I can.
I literally just tuned in and I heard there was a technical problem and I thought I'd see if I could come and help.
Yeah, man. Let me try to join in my phone over here and see if. If I join here, I'm gonna lose the main call. Let me log in my non-working Wi-Fi old phone, which is logging into a different account. Yeah, in my Wi-Fi phone. So, talk about yourself for a minute. I'll be back.
I was going to say I'm going to ask you the classic Thomas Dolby question. So tell me about your childhood. Sorry, I just went very early 1980s on people. I have to say, I did see something while we wait for Jose to sort his connections out. Did anyone see the video Ranty posted up for the Top Left Awards for Anthony Riley?
Yes. And
did you see
that list was not. There's so much more he could have included.
Oh, I know. But my favourite one, obviously, was the Iron Age.
Yeah.
I nearly peed myself.
He got that confused with the Industrial Revolution, didn't he? I think.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean,
just a smidge.
I mean, the Iron Age. God, how long ago was that? I can't remember exactly when that was. You're going back.
Well, let's just say that he was about for Europe. He's about 2,500 years wrong.
That's it. Yeah.
And if you move to the Mediterranean, you can sort of add another 800 onto that.
That's right. We lagged a bit. We lagged behind a bit over here, didn't we?
We slagged behind.
Slag. You slag.
See, did a bit of a metal joke there.
I know.
You slag.
You slag. Oh God!
Gary's been muted and deafened. How can this be? That's even weirder. Someone unmuted him. Why did they do that?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
We got you.
Very good.
Oh, here he comes. Look.
All right. Let me put it sideways right here.
Tell me.
Okay.
Let me just see if I can make you full screen so my poor myopic eyes can see you.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Okay, right.
Be in and out, guys. Hit you up in a little bit.
This is what it shows. I can go over here, easy mode, maybe if you want to.
Okay, so you're in your BIOS. You look like you've got an AMD chip in there, which is a Ryzen 5.
Yep.
Tell me about your problem. Give me your symptom.
I turned on my computer and this is what shows up. It doesn't load Windows. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go past the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so if you can go over to menu, should be boot order. So it's the one next to advanced. Yeah, 2 along from advanced, and you should see your boot devices in there, which I cannot read because. Oh, I can now. Okay, so so that's not right.
Okay.
So PXE is called a Pixie boot, and it's basically saying use my network card to boot this machine.
Right.
So that's interesting. So go back a second. Keep it there, but just move over a little bit for me. Right, and show me boot configuration. Top slot. Boot log on display. Set up mode. Okay, that's kind of weird. Where are your hard drives, Jose?
I have no idea.
This is your problem. So, okay, we know what the issue is. Did anyone get this far already, by the way? Or am I repeating shit?
No. This is the first time anybody's actually done this.
Okay, cool. Do you have an NVMe drive in? Do you have a little stick thing that you plug into the motherboard for this machine?
I do not. I have no idea. I never tried it. I just got the computer first time, turned it on. Beautiful.
This is what you got. Okay.
It's the first time that this happened.
Cool. What I want you to do, Jose, is turn your PC off. We're going to start at 101.
Okay. Now, to turn it off, is there a way to turn it off here in the screen, or I have to just hold the button?
No. Just basically hold the button down for 4 to 6 seconds, and it'll go off.
Okay. Yeah. It's the only way, you know. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Can you show me your computer?
And I should do what?
Can you actually show me your computer? So that's the screen.
Oh.
Where's the base box? Show me what I'm working with.
Yeah, I got a mess over here, but still, it's
Okay.
right.
Oh, cool. That's absolutely. Have you got a torch?
Huh?
Have you got a torch? Because what I want you
What?
to, a torch, a light. I want to see inside your computer.
Okay. Let me see. I think so. Let's
That's
see.
almost thing. And the other thing I want you to do is reach around behind to the bottom of the base unit. You'll find a switch on the power supply. Can you flick that and make sure that the lights inside are now off? So it's in the back of your computer.
I'll be back in a second. Let me get a flashlight.
We have no boot device. This is the issue.
Do you think that using a torch on the computer is a little bit premature?
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Not a
You want,
blowtorch.
you want me to open the side panel? So
Yeah,
you
but I
can
want
see
you to
better?
switch it off at the back first, please, Jose.
Oh, switch it off in the back?
Yeah, so at the back, if you reach around, feel where the
Yeah,
power cable goes in, there's a switch next to it. Just flick that switch down for me.
Okay, yeah, it's off. Yep.
The worst. Like, I know what I'm fucking talking about, innit? And yeah, if you can pull the side panel off, that would be brilliant.
I'm on it.
So
I got 2 buttons down, 3. I mean, it's like easy to unscrew.
yeah. Just make sure the light's off. I don't want the power supply on with your hands inside there.
I lost 1 screw, but I got 3, so I think I'm good.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, I don't bother putting screws on my side panel, but it sort of clicks in place. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is see, do we have any SATA cables plugged in?
I don't know what SATA cables are.
So they're black cable. No, you haven't. So you see on the right-hand side of that board, you've got 4 kind of blocky black connectors. So those are SATA connectors. That means you're running an NVMe drive, which is what's plugged in there. That's all cool. So that's fine. So all I want you to do is, before you touch it, hold the case for me for a second. The metal part of the case.
I gotta put the light in here somewhere.
Yeah, just
hold the metal case.
Yeah, just with the hand we're going to touch the computer with. Yeah, just hold the case, the metal part. That's fine. Now I just want you to see that black sort of sticky thing that's just above the cable. So no, down, left. Above that cable there.
Pop it out.
No. Just no. Don't unplug anything. The black sort of block thing there that says, I think, SVP on it. That's your hard drive. Okay. So all I want you to do is just sort of press on it very gently and see if it moves for me. Cool. That's nice and solidly in. That's fine. Okay. So you got a hard drive in there. That's it. Don't stop touching. Stop. Okay. That's fine. Pop the side panel back on for me.
Oh, dude.
What's the computer doing? What's it not doing?
It's asking to pixie boot.
All right. I can screw it later. You want me to?
You can screw it later, and then switch it on back at the back.
All right.
Is it? Maybe it's overheating. You only have 1 fan in there. How many fans do you have?
He's got a fan at the back. It's not going to be an overheating problem. Not when he's just switched it on. It's doing this from cold boot. So no.
All right.
Oh shit. Okay.
The back button is on.
What is that?
Yep. Excellent. And if you can switch your PC back on for me.
All right.
I don't want to be mean, but too many cooks spoil the broth.
Sorry.
Let's see what happens now.
Well, you know,
By the power of Christ, I compel thee. But just leave it. Don't touch anything on the keyboard.
Hey,
No, I'm not.
If you run it in the conditions they filmed that scene, it wouldn't overheat.
I know, but it might vomit on him, which would be funny.
Oh yeah, pea soup. Yeah, it's not good.
So it's obviously on a long test mode.
Mm.
So normally I would expect it to go through BIOS quicker than that. That's fine, just leave it, because it should come up with an error that's saying cannot find boot device.
Right.
This is what I'm expecting as the next thing, which is cool, because we can still fix that. But that's taking a long time to go through BIOS.
A long time, dude. I mean, in the previous days when I was using it daily, I turned it on and 5 seconds it was up and on, just ready asking me for the password to log in, and I'm on Windows already. That's it, you know.
Fine. Can you just put the camera again at the board? I just want to see if there are any diagnostic lights on there. I don't think they are, because it looks like a cheap-ass board. Okay.
Is that a B450?
So that does no. It's a Ryzen G chip, because it's an A320M/K. But we are getting an interesting little flashing yellow kind of light there. So I think that is going to tell me. Okay, just.
Oh, Jose, you've got no graphics card. Oh.
No, I don't. I know. This is what I want. And it's still loading over there. It's still the same screen.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just. That's saying it can't find the hard drive. So if you press delete for me, I want to see if it goes into BIOS from here. So go back up to the keyboard.
Okay. Oh, wait, it changed something before I pressed. Hold on. I'll steady in a second. This is what it did before I pressed anything.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So what it's basically saying, that's exactly what I was expecting it to do. So it's saying, I can't find anything to boot off. I really can't find anything to boot off. So I'm going to see if there's anything on the network that I can boot off. That's cool.
Oh,
that's
shit.
just the
Hard
boot
drive.
order. Yeah. I will diagnose that bit. So okay, fine. Press Control Alt Delete for me.
Press what?
Control, the CTRL, ALT, and delete together.
Alright. I need 2 hands for that.
You will need 2 hands for that, unless you've got very big hands or a very small keyboard.
It turned off.
Excellent. It should now restart. Restart.
Maybe Gary can teach me how to do. Oh, what he does is copy paste. Sorry, I thought it was CTRL delete.
It's a relic criterion.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with your computer.
No. It's perspective.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's kind of weird cursor there as well. Okay, fine.
Dude, and I mean, as I say, I use this computer daily to do my shows. I come in the morning, press the button, turn it on, and within 5, maybe 10-second tops,
Yeah.
already, asking me to log in. Then I came in that day, I turned it on, and I was just here waiting, and boom, the BIOS, that screen that I showed you earlier was up.
That's weird. It's also not getting to BIOS now. It's just giving you that little cursory thing in the screen there. Would have expected.
Quick question: Is your operating system stored onto that M.2 drive?
It's the only thing that's attached. There are no other SATA devices attached to that. There's no other SATA devices or IDE devices attached to that machine. So the answer is yes.
Yes. So I think it's just a failure. Just that the fucking M.2 is just done. Maybe.
No.
No.
No, don't give up so easily. Dear God in heaven, man. It's more likely the fact that the BIOS is just fucked up and it just needs taking out and reinserting. That's probably what we're going to need to do.
I think you just need a new computer, Jose.
Yeah, that's fine if you got the money to buy it. Let's work on the premise that, this isn't an option, and let's see if we can fix what we got. What I want you to do is press the power button again for me for 4 seconds till the machine goes off.
4, 5, there you go.
Wait 10 seconds.
Yep.
And once we got to that point, you can then press the start button again. You always wait. And this time it should be. Sorry.
I gotta say, big shout out to everybody watching on YouTube and a technical stream today on how to do shit. But please be patient, guys. This will just be better because we will have a better, stronger stream moving on. If this works today, if not, well, we're gonna have a stream. We're gonna be heard. We're gonna have a chat until I figure out what to do and get this sorted out. So, thank you for being patient.
For everybody in the audience, we're trying to give Jose a strong stream.
Yeah, that's it.
Phrasing.
Don't cross the streams.
If you can press the on button again for me, Jose.
I thought I did. I thought I did, but it didn't do anything. Let me try again. All right.
Make sure the little fans are whirring in the side, though.
Oh, they're on.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good. Something's happening.
Very silent, the fans. It doesn't make noise. The computer never get hot or warm or nothing. Just
no,
normal.
it shouldn't do it. It's the Ryzen CGPU chip.
Is it a Ryzen what 5 or 3?
No, it's the A series chipset.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't turn on. It doesn't do anything.
That's weird. Can you make sure your
That's
monitor's
weird.
not off, just to be stupid?
Am I what?
Your monitor, is it switched on? Just
Oh. Oh, fuck. I didn't turn it off. It turned off by itself.
yeah. The rule in thumb is think of the most stupid reason why something might not be working and start there. That's weird. It's not. Oh, okay. Is it going to find a signal? No signal. I have a sneaky suspicion your computer is quite sick.
Ah, that's weird.
Sorry, I would love to say ah ha ha ha, but the fact that it's not even getting a signal, just hit delete for me a few times, would you? No, it's definitely not looking very happy. I think what I would do at the moment, Jose, is switch it off. And probably the best thing to do, yeah, switch it off for the moment. And I think we're going to have to carry on from there because this isn't going to be, well, as they said on 300, this isn't going to be fun. It isn't going to be easy. But it's not even getting to BIOS.
Yeah, offline.
No, I'll give you a hand. Yeah, I'll give you a hand offline. We'll do this properly.
I appreciate it, man.
That's all right.
Thank you for that, Quentin, and let's go to the show and see what's up. Thank you very much.
I'm feeling bad now because I'm going to share my screen.
Big shout out for giving me a technical support without a strong Indian accent. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
No worries, mate.
Good looking at. Oh, I lit the flashlight on. Hold on.
Good morning. You're talking to Kevin.
Hi, I'm calling from Microsoft support. Our records say you've got lots of viruses on your machine. Just give me some money and I'll fix them for you.
Yeah. And when I say fix, I mean give you more viruses.
Well, just means I'm going to drain your bank account.
Yes.
There you go, Jose. That's the inside of my screen.
That's
machine.
pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty one. Whew.
Oh, I don't know.
Next time we'll try to see inside a flat earther's brain, okay?
Oh, that's easy.
There you go. Yeah, nice. Now that's a good looking setup you got there, Dross.
Yeah, it's the one I've just built.
Thank you.
And to be honest, the only reason I put lights in it is it just makes it easier to see the shit inside when I need to fix it. Mm-hmm. It's one less flashlight I have to hold.
Yeah,
that's why you have one of those torches that sits on your forehead with a strap.
Well, this is what I really like about this machine. So my mic is now right next to that computer.
Yeah, can't hear a thing.
I'm just scrolling up the comment, reading some random comment. That's good. Great comments. No, the Russians hacker didn't get me. This is
this is character not from the IT crowd is my hero.
And this is not a PC troubleshooting channel now either.
I've heard that it's the Russians that are getting hacked at the moment.
Well, Anonymous are having a bit of a chuck at them, but what I'm seeing is an awful lot of stuff coming out of Russia as well. Like, a sort of 650% increase.
Mm.
And the trouble is with these guys, they kind of lay stuff in to be exploited later. And that is my major concern, is the fact that it's going to start activating a whole lot of shit they've already got out there.
Yeah.
Or as Kevin Mitchell would say, there are only two types of companies in this world. Those that know they've been hacked and those that don't.
Very sage.
I prefer the other Mitchell that shoots guns a lot.
Peter G is not sure what is worse, to listen to Lemonbird or to tech support. My hard drive is foreshortening.
Definitely.
Now, what we're going to do next time, like I say, is we'll unplug that from the table, seat it, and make sure everything's actually happy in its place. Because it could be something stupid as a loose cable, but there's a whole lot of shit that will stop them getting to virus.
Yep, everything's good. Everything's good. I'm still gonna try to, and I'm unfortunately the memory cards that Vivo sent me, they were not compatible with my laptop.
Yeah.
If they were, bro, that would have been.
You got lucky because they were full of dick pics.
Jeremy's here?
Hey, what's up, man?
Jeremy, what are you doing
Hold
here?
on,
Come
hold on. Before doing a proper welcome to Jeremy, Mr. Victory's Radio gave me the biggest super chat I've seen in 3 days. The start. This is the start of a new computer fund for Jose. $25 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Victory. Appreciate that, brother. Jeremy, what's
That's
up,
good.
man?
If we can get Jose another $10, he can buy 128 gig SSD in case his drive's fucked. Come on, boys.
Nah, man. Nah, man. You know what? You need a 2 terabyte, man.
Jeremy, what's up, man? Where you been? I hear you in the vines sometimes, like in the Jam Panda server and stuff.
I'm in it still. I mean, I've gotten better. I've aged well, like fine wine, you know. So
yeah,
I beg to differ. If you've been in there this long, and then you've been in geos this long, and you still believe the Earth is flat, I don't know, man.
there's just nothing definitive that swayed me thus far that I've seen.
You imply that something's wrong with Jeremy if he believes the Earth is flat.
No, nothing wrong. It's just, how much more evidence do you need? I mean, Jesus. Look at all the things that have happened in the past few months. We've had the Tonga explosion caught by multiple satellites. I mean, goddamn.
Was that good enough evidence, Jeremy, that the satellites got that explosion?
A satellite exploded? I didn't even hear about
It was
a
not
satellite
just that,
explosion.
and it was the pressure wave that was picked up by all this, you know.
It was a big volcano, Jeremy, that was caught by satellites.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard to piece together if you had some cameras up there or something. I mean, they might have cameras that high. Who knows? It doesn't mean they're spinning or in a constant state of falling around a spherical Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, they caught it because they're up there and you can see it.
And we have cameras in the sky. Sure, I'm not denying we have cameras in the
cameras
sky.
that show that not only showed the explosion but showed the curvature of the Earth.
Well, I don't know about all that.
And not only that, the pressure wave.
Oh, sorry, my kettle. My kettle is loud on my computer.
The pressure wave that it created.
Yeah, so you know the experiment, the little test me and Brandon did to see if you would see curving on a flat plane, and we found out that you might indeed see curvature if you're looking over a flat plane, if you had a circle of vision all around you.
But you might.
Yeah, but then we'd be seeing the edge of the Earth, wouldn't we?
No,
can we see that far?
The circle you can see, circle of your vision.
But then that circle would always be at eye level, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily, no.
Would never.
Because
It
you've
would
got
never drop.
refraction, and all kinds of atmospheric effects happen.
I gotta give a proper big shout out to Anamorphic Mind because he actually sent me a $10 super chat for Jose to get an SSD. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. I still
You
haven't
know what?
seen.
You know what, Jose? I
Yeah.
think I might have a 2 terabyte SSD. I could probably send you.
Fucking really, dude. And
I think I might have an extra one.
I mean, if that's possible, if I get any parts, I mean, what I can do is that do a private call on Discord, do the camera on camera, and I follow instructions. Although I gotta grab a package.
You have to. Well, you'd have to reinstall Windows on it. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it'd be
easy.
2
I
terabytes.
can take him through that. By the way, anybody that helps Jose out with parts, I'll give them 30 minutes of my tech support time anytime they need it. I said, anybody that donates parts for Jose's PC, I will give them 30 minutes of my time for any tech support questions that they have. And that can be around securing their machine, that can be around physical tech support. I'm just not going to set up networks for people because it's been too long.
After 30 minutes, it's $1.99 a minute.
Too cheap.
Oh no! If it's $1.99 a minute, I have to go. Hi, this is tech support. How can I help you?
I know. No, let's go back to this. That's an interesting one that on that satellite that capture images and they put a time lapse on the images. They stitch them together, so they did a GIF, moving type of little video loop thing, and it shows the smoke coming up, and a wave when the explosion happened, a wave. And I heard the argument that it proves the globe somehow with those images.
I think it's because of the time when all those different places detected the wave. The time that it took and the speed that the wave was traveling.
So, was that on the surface of Earth, or?
Yes. Because if it was flat, it would take a lot longer time at certain places on Earth. It would have taken a lot longer.
I don't know. Yeah, like a presentation on this or something?
Yeah. Let me see if I have a. Yeah. Here's a GIF.
See, all of this has been gone over in the last few months, but it's just passed Jeremy by because reasons.
What text channel do you guys use? Daily Boom?
Daily Boom Uncensored.
Daily Boom Uncensored.
Yeah.
All right.
Dross posted a bunch of stuff. Did you post something, Ortiz Live, a moving one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a GIF.
Pressure wave, doesn't it?
Sure. I mean, yeah, if you believe NASA's giving it to us straight or whoever, who's this? Where'd this picture come from?
Well, there we go. He assumes it was taken by NASA.
I mean, this was all over the place, Jeremy. This was all over.
Where'd it come from? I understand it was spread all over the place. Where'd it come from?
Multiple different places.
Okay, where's this one from?
What, the one that Dross posted? I think that's from Himawari.
Well, I mean,
sorry, I said that's from Himawari 8, and I thought, well, yeah, I just said that, and then I realized my mic was muted. So
I got on screen.
Yeah.
I got on screen the one you posted earlier live, the sphere and the little waves.
Yeah, you could go to that day on Himawari and you can see it yourself. All you got to do is go to Himawari, type in the day that happened, and you can see it yourself. The day it happened, I woke up and I saw it on the news. I was, oh shit! And I went to Himawari, and lo and behold, you can see the explosion right there on Himawari.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to believe that they're giving us an accurate representation of space, which I think they haven't been giving us over the years because we found, a lot of weird thing going on.
No, you haven't.
Okay, so how is it that this with images on the ground?
I don't. You cut out a little bit in that. What'd you say?
Yeah, you did.
How is it that these images correspond with images on the ground?
Well, let's see an image on the ground.
The people that witnessed
All right.
this explosion.
Somebody pull up.
I'll sort that
Yeah,
out.
what I-
Thousands of them, Jeremy.
I remember
Yeah.
this being a big thing a few months ago. I never really got into it.
Yeah, that's from another satellite, Jeremy.
That's the
And I'll
problem,
get you
man.
one now taken from the ground.
Yeah.
It's all
good one.
CGI. It's all CGI, says Paul.
I mean, they could have cameras in space and stitch this together. I don't know. I don't trust these
They
people.
have
If you
got
want to trust
cameras
them,
in
that's
They
fine.
do have cameras in
That's a lot.
They
space.
do have
That's
cameras
fine
in
if you want to
space,
trust
man.
these guys. I know that's fine. If you want to trust these guys, that's fine. I'm not hating you if you trust them.
Why would
Trust
you not
who?
trust them?
It's just a camera. It's just a camera in space. That's it. We have to trust.
And the best ones are on
You
a
gotta-
Japanese satellite, nothing to do with NASA.
You got to
Really?
trust that they're giving you an accurate representation of what's happening in space. I just don't trust them to do
I
that.
have no
because
reason.
I've
I
seen
have no
evidence
reason
of
not
other-
to trust them.
I've seen evidence. I do have a reason. The fact that you don't have a reason, you must have not been paying attention over these years.
What
you
reason?
have to have
though?
that.
Wait, because some other flight earther told you? Is that the reason?
Pretty much.
No, because I've seen evidence to the contrary that they're not giving us an accurate representation
Evidence
of,
from
of
who?
what spaces are.
Really?
Evidence from who? From other flight earthers?
From
Yeah.
NASA themselves. Phil Bell actually gave us on Brandon's a while back. Phil Bell actually gave us some proof of satellites that were just falling down.
Oh,
the
you
Earth
mean
after they
the
got
low?
released into the
You mean
clouds.
the low quality? You mean that low quality
Oh,
footage where the satellite disappeared because of the low quality footage?
Because they went into the clouds. Yeah, they fell right into the clouds.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
obvious.
because of the low quality footage. Right.
Well, I
right.
don't know. I don't think they fell because the quality footage was low. I think they fell because they were dropping because that's what things do. They fall.
No, I think it was because the quality of the image was low, so low quality. After a while, the image just couldn't pick it up. I've seen similar videos where a guy was hitting a baseball into the ocean and the ball just disappeared. Why? Because of low quality footage.
But Jeremy, you're talking about the footage where they drop the satellites out and they kind of, you sort of see them falling downwards from your perspective as the vehicle moves away.
They fell down very fast. Yeah, their trajectory was heading towards the ground, and they didn't have any kind of propulsion system or anything. So I mean, they would have landed in the ground within, I don't know, depending on how high they were, within minutes.
You really think that? I mean, how long did it take Baumgartner to hit the ground?
Those satellite, well, I don't know the time frame, maybe 10, 20 minutes. I don't know, but those satellites didn't have any propulsion system on them, and the vector they had,
or they're going. They've been pushed out at a certain speed to ensure they drop into the right level of orbit. Is that not also possible?
Yeah, but you could see what their trajectory was, right, in the video. You could see the trajectory, and it was clear they were about to fall. They were going down into Earth.
But why?
You
why is it that
you would have needed a propulsion system to stop them from falling into Earth?
Jeremy, why is it that these low quality images are evidence enough for you to continue believing the Earth is?
I don't. This
flat,
is
or
what
continue believing that not flat Earth, but continue believing that these images from space are fake. Even though we have way more. Even though we have way more images with higher quality.
What I'm saying. Sometimes you think it's an accurate representation. Sometimes it looks one way. Sometimes it looks like they're doing shady shit. You guys don't believe the shady shit and only believe that the ones that look good and what they're saying is happening. But I mean, you just have to trust them when it comes down to it.
Well, that's kind of called cherry picking, man.
That's what you
cherry
guys
pick the things.
Yeah, you're cherry picking. You're not willing to
No,
look at
we're not
the one where the satellites are falling into Earth. You're only looking at the other ones where the satellites are not falling into Earth.
Yeah, I look at all
picking.
of them. No, I don't look at just the ones. I look at all of them.
Right. You're not looking at the ones where the satellites are falling into Earth, because if you did, you would say,
because
there's no way those satellites could have kept going because they would have needed a propulsion system to stop them from falling into Earth.
You watched the video from the from the deploy vehicle, not from the satellites that are being dropped off. You're moving away from them fast. What are you talking? You think you're going to be able to keep watching the satellites being dropped off?
I gotta.
Let's see if we can find the. Let's see if we can find the video.
Just a couple comments from the audience. Mr. Victory say, in NASA I don't trust, but trust NASA when it suits me. Is that your argument, Jeremy? Do you trust NASA for certain things?
Exactly.
Trust them. Period.
You don't trust them whatsoever.
I don't trust them.
Okay.
To give us
Well,
an
who do
accurate
you
representation of space, I don't trust NASA. You guys do. That's the difference.
That's not the question I asked. I said, who do you trust? Not like, who do you trust, dude?
In
Because
God
if
we
you're saying
trust.
NASA's fake,
Videos from other flight earthers that have pointed these things out. That's it.
exactly.
Do you
Exactly.
say in God we trust, Jeremy, or not really?
I mean, I trust God, but I also would trust other people's knowledge, not some guy off the internet who clearly is just pulling stuff out of his butt. Sorry, Jeremy. That's what you've been doing this whole time. The truth hurts,
Another
bro.
thing that
The
this
truth hurts, bro.
another thing about this blast that proves the spherical Earth is something. An even bigger explosion was at Krakatoa. They detected Krakatoa all around the Earth. It went around a few times,
Absolutely.
and through barometric stations, weather stations that detect the barometer, and the blast creates a sound wave that ripples out like you drop a pebble in a pond, and it rippled out around the world in the order that you would expect. And this was 100 years ago, way before NASA.
Yeah, I mean, it made the largest recorded sound in the world at that time, and it was loud.
Actually, it wasn't. Well, it may be the loud recorders, but that was the one I was looking for. The main reason that we all know about Krakatoa is because that's when telegraph was starting to be really used seriously. There was one that was done a little bit earlier, which is Mount Tambora.
Oh, that's right. I got that.
Which was 10 times bigger than Krakatoa.
Right, the year without a summer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me
It's
about
all right.
that. Sorry about that.
All right, let's
It's only like 3 or 4 years difference. It's
Guys,
really weird.
Let's give Jeremy the opportunity to say something if he wants.
All right.
It was kind of a
My bad,
little
dude.
bit of a back and forth, not directly to you, but Jeremy, what do you think? I mean, my question. Do you think that where we are today with the advancement in technology and human capabilities of building vehicles that can reach a few hundred miles away from the Earth, what's wrong with them? It's possible, or do you think that's impossible?
I don't know what technology the government has. I think it would be silly to say, for anyone to say they know what technology the government does or doesn't have, right?
Exactly, but so the question is, don't you think that humans today are capable of having these vehicles that can reach a few hundred miles, if not further, a few thousand miles away from the Earth?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Wouldn't it be silly to state what technology, the government or these big corporations, do or don't have?
Yeah, big ass
You don't
rockets.
know. Would they? You think they would tell you?
Yeah, big ass rockets, different types of rockets with different features on them. They could be invisible for all we know, but they just big ass vehicles, rocket propulsions and shit like that can reach very far away from the Earth. So these images don't have to be fake.
Sure, maybe we can get really high. I don't know how high we can get. Maybe we can get hundreds of miles. I don't know. I just think it would be silly for someone to state like, well, we do or don't have the technology to do this, because you don't know what technology they really do or don't have.
Well, I am very sure that there is vehicles that can reach hundreds of miles away from the Earth, because they are seen by people like you or me when they shoot these rockets up.
Yeah, maybe. When I see a rocket trajectory, it looks to me like it's coming back down. Have you ever seen a long exposure rocket launch?
Always, yes, always.
Yeah, they look like it's curving right back down.
That's what it's called an orbit, an orbital, exit plan to exit the orbit.
All these years, I've never seen anybody take a video or a picture of the rocket coming back down. They know what direction they're going. Why don't you have somebody all around the Earth waiting, watching the point, get pictures of the rockets coming back down.
Because they clear you out. They clear you out of the. There's a strip.
Okay, evidence for that. Evidence. Now.
Strip that
Do
they
you have video?
evidence
They
for
clear
what?
you out from what?
For what? I didn't even finish my sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him
Sorry,
finish.
that was bad of me. I apologize, Jeremy. Go on.
There's a strip that they clear out ocean in front of you to make sure they can't. They scrubbed the launch once because there was a fishing boat out there. You can't just be out there in the way and see.
But
And
what's
how far away
stopping
was
people
that
from
fishing?
continuing to track
Oh,
it?
no, I know the story of the fishing boat. And how far away was that fishing boat from the launch site?
They did so for security reasons, making sure the boat doesn't get hurt by the rockets.
No, it's in case they actually have a bad error on launch, which then causes it to crash in the ocean. So they clear like about sort of, I think, 50 to 75 miles out of
that's
Cape
what I meant.
Canaveral.
Oh, that's what
In case it sort of drops on somebody because of liability. But that's fine, because you'd still be able to observe that anywhere from either side of that trajectory piece. So you'd still have a clear view of it hitting the ocean, Jeremy. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
And the point that I wanted to make was that, are you saying as I watch an airplane disappear into the distance, it looks like it's getting closer and closer to the horizon? Is it getting lower in altitude or maintaining the same altitude?
Sure. So you're saying this rocket's dropping because of perspective? Trust? This perspective.
I'm waiting for you to address the point.
Are you comparing this to the rocket? The perspective's like the airplane, the rocket is dropping because of perspective. Is that what this analogy is supposed to be?
Well, again, you see, what you've done is you haven't actually answered my question. You just asked me another one. So I'm waiting for you to answer the question. I'm just trying to figure out how this relates.
I'm just trying to figure out how this relates. A plane looks like it's getting lower due to perspective. Sure. Does this relate to the rocket?
Could it?
Excuse me? My question now. I answered your question. My question. Does this relate to the rocket?
I think it does. I'm asking, do you think it can?
So the rocket's dropping because of perspective.
Or the perspective
No,
is
it's not
dropping,
because
depending on your
people, or is the perspective dropping because of the rocket?
Depending on your location and how you're seeing the rocket, it could appear that it's going down.
So in the case of the airplane, it's not just going down. You can see the underneath, the underbelly of the plane. It looks like it's going straight down, but it's not. It's far enough away. It's following the curve of the Earth.
I've never seen an airplane look like it's going straight down unless it's crash landing into the fucking ground.
It's my first video. It's my first. Made it like 2 years ago. I can show you videos of it all day flying over the horizon planes. Yeah, very common. Not rare.
The thousands of rockets that we've shot out now. Thousands. And there's not one video or not one picture of somebody somewhere down the path seeing this thing coming back down. Ever.
There's a good example over here on the Daily Boom that Gary posted. And this is from another angle. The rocket launched like in the right-hand side. It was really far away. So the people where they took this picture, they saw the rocket coming up from like the horizon and then straighting up until this is what they see. They're going to continue seeing this rocket as if it's going to go crash somewhere. It's going to go down. But then the people in that other point reference is going to see the rocket coming up and over their heads and continuously that way. It has been documented, it has been presented, and this is one picture, one example of that. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on that when you say rockets go up and down? From your point of view, yes.
That's awesome. It looks like it's coming down. Maybe they, like I said earlier, maybe they can get stuff high in the sky. I don't know. I wouldn't trust these people as far as I could throw them, though. So
that's what you have to do.
If you guys want to.
Yeah.
If you guys want to trust them, go ahead. That's on you.
Jose, you live in Florida, and is there times that you see on TV a satellite image of a storm coming that's not there yet, but it's coming, and all of a sudden it's there, just like they said it was, coming in?
Well, I see that in like I don't know. man. Bad example. I don't watch TV, and
I got a question.
I don't know when a storm is over me until I see the dark clouds coming over me. Pretty much.
You didn't get warnings. You don't see the warnings. Saying,
Sometimes
in
the phone.
There's a hurricane.
Yeah, sometimes in the phone. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I got a quick question. So Jeremy, let's say if on the news they announced that there was an asteroid coming to hit the eastern part of the United States, and if you didn't evacuate, you would pretty much die. Would you believe him then, or no?
I won't believe any.
Bro, I have no problem.
I
have no problem believing that they can tell if there's weather storms coming. With Doppler radar.
I said.
What kind of systems are they using? The Himawari, you're saying? What are they using for that?
No. I said an asteroid.
Oh, an asteroid. What was the question? If they told me an asteroid was going to hit the East Coast, would I evacuate?
On the news and said, hey, heading towards Earth, everyone needs to evacuate to the West Coast. And if you don't, you're pretty much going to be obliterated by this asteroid. It's going to destroy the entire eastern seaboard. Would you evacuate, or would you just say, nah, it's not real?
I won't.
It's bullshit.
I'd probably evacuate. Yeah.
I won't. I won't evacuate.
And that came from NASA.
Fucking meteor.
That warning came from NASA. Would you do it?
No.
Yeah,
no.
that came.
I give you a more realistic example. They say, dude, there was a malfunction in the ISS, and that shit is coming down, and it's gonna be within a range of the central Florida. It could be from the west coast to the east coast within a certain, parameter and diameter on the Earth. It could land in Tampa Bay, maybe Orlando, maybe Melbourne, on Palm Beach over there. So you guys gotta go really down south to Miami or really up north to Jacksonville. Then I'll leave because I don't know where the fucker is gonna drop. And it will fall if they say he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. I don't know. In 24 hours, it's gonna be down there. I will move then. But if they say a meteor is heading that way, I won't believe a meteor will do that.
So in that case, you would believe NASA.
Yes.
But anything else, you wouldn't believe now. I'm talking to Jeremy.
Okay.
You wouldn't believe NASA any other time, but you would believe him then.
Yeah, I just posted in the chat, in the uncensored chat, the video that Jeremy is asking for, that he says he's never seen before. In fact, he said if a plane's going down like that, it should be crashing into the Earth. In fact, that's the title of the video: planes crashing into a flat Earth. I sorted this out for you.
I can't get your video to play. Why is it not playing here?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'd have to.
I played it. I'm playing it right now.
Yeah, I'm on my phone too.
Tommy, what's up?
Yeah. Hey. I was just listening here to that guy denying all these rocket launches. So if I can share my screen for a bit there.
Yeah, man.
Go for it.
I'll show you.
Before you do that, Jose, you could also show my video. If he can't load it, you could share my video on screen. It's only like a minute.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll share it with closed
No,
captions.
I just watched your video. I didn't see the. Oh, I just watched your video. I didn't at any point see the underbelly of the plane. Could you give me a timestamp on that? I know it's only a minute 42 video, but I never saw the underbelly of the plane. It also never looked like the plane was going straight down.
What?
Do you have a timestamp on when you saw the underbelly of the plane?
Well, I'm seeing it right now in the top of the video, beginning the video. Timestamp is 22
The trail
seconds.
is going straight down. What are you talking
22 seconds. You can see the underbelly.
20 seconds. It's going down, bro.
And notice that the trail is is not shrinking in perspective. It's not shrinking in angular size. So it looks like it's going almost straight down.
Yeah.
And you can see that that's the underbelly of the plane, clearly. It's not going away from you, it's going down.
Okay, I couldn't see the underbelly of the plane. I don't know what kind of vision you guys have, but also the thing.
I can see the trail.
Also, the thing still above him. Of course, you would see the underbelly of the plane at that angle. It's above you. This is kind of dumb.
below the horizon.
This is kind of like
so it's below
guys,
eye
come
level.
on.
Can
is
you
where it
not see
ends
the
up.
trail from the the contrail?
Contrail,
Jeremy?
yeah.
Okay, which direction does it look like it's going?
The top of you.
Is it going away or is it going down? Does it appear to be going down?
Appears to be going down in a way.
No. There you go. You just answered your own question. Thank you.
Straight lines do that when in a perspective grid, right?
Yep. It appears to be going down, right? But it's not. It's going away.
Can I show Jeremy this perspective thing he was talking about?
Go ahead, Tommy. If you share the screen, I'll share you for the audience on YouTube. And
Thank you.
Jeremy, if you want to see when he shared the screen, click on his screen share thing. Should be good to go.
There's a guy in the middle there and a black pole, if you see it.
Yeah, I see it. Great. Well, now what?
Mine is still loading over here for me. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. I showed this to Lemonbird here a couple of weeks ago, and he was agreeing with me all the way until the end. So let's see how you do.
Okay.
See a black line there going up.
Sure. See the black line. Yep.
Yeah, and it's curving away. And it starts to go down.
Can I see this thing in its entirety? Can you like zoom out?
Yeah,
please?
wait a minute. So now it's going down, right? And disappears.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
Can
appearing to
you
go
just
down.
zoom out so I can see this whole
Yeah,
thing?
I'm going to do that right now. Just one more time. As we agree, it goes up, curves, and goes down, and disappears.
Well, it looks like it's going out into the distance, sure.
Yeah. Thing is, go back to that guy here. When I zoom out, that thing is a 45-degree upwards all the way. That doesn't go down at all.
Yeah, it's due to perspective.
Perspective. Yeah. So when you say rockets go down because it looks like it, they don't go down. This is a 45-degree upwards.
I didn't say the rockets go down because of perspective. One of your guys on the globe side said that.
Yeah, whatever your excuse was, driving. Sorry, but again, it looks.
You need to
go
show
down
this to somebody else because I didn't say this was it was perspective.
You think they go down?
You weren't paying attention.
You said it went down.
Bro. I didn't say it was due to
Yes,
perspective. Your boy Druss said that with the planes.
I'm sorry, I was driving. Sorry, I just
No,
got home. But again, you said it
you're bang on point. Good man. Bang on point. This is exactly because you were basically saying this is why they have to clear out the oceans because they crash into them and blah 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 blah. And then I asked you that question about the rockets, and then I asked you a simple one about the airline, and then you said, yeah, you're saying it's due to perspective, and I said basically yes. And then you kind of agreed with me and then disagreed with me.
So this is a 45-degree upwards line. Call it what you want. I just heard you said it went down, and it doesn't.
So the rocket,
man, it's going to fuck with you every time.
So the rocket trajectory looks like it's going down because of perspective.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. It's just perspective. It's actually getting higher the whole time.
Yep. It is a 45-degree upwards all the way.
Because I've heard a lot of your people say that it actually is going down and it's falling around Earth. That's why it's going down, because it actually is going down because it's going in orbit and it now has to start falling around the globe.
Of course, at a distance from your perspective, it's going down. Yeah.
So it actually is going down, and it's not perspective at that point.
From your perspective, it's going down. I want to stop screen sharing.
It never comes back down to Earth.
So it's never.
Uh-oh. I lost the audio for a second here, guys. So we'll get back in there in a second. Let's see if we can get the audio back in. Check, check.
And it's never going that.
Then yes. So it's a nuanced answer.
Yeah.
Understand that?
And they've always told me that it is actually going down because it's falling around the globe.
Yes.
As opposed to what I'm getting told now that it's not actually going down. It's
did you hear the 2 points that I made, Jeremy? The 2 points, not 1 point, but the 2 points. Consider them both, not just the one. That's the point of what that guy was actually making a point of. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Tommy. Sorry, Tommy.
It is actually going down.
No, not from the limited point of when you're on the ground with your limited horizon. It's not. It's still gaining altitude. But eventually, when it starts to orbit, then yes, you're right. You could say that whilst it's not changing elevation from the surface of the Earth, in direct relationship to you, you could say it's now below me because it's on the other side of the Earth.
Against what a lot of your people have told me throughout the years that it actually is from where we see it. They have said from where we see it.
This is something we hear from flat earthers all over.
Come on, guys!
It all turns into wordplay and definitions and semantics. So that's it.
By that time, you'll never see it.
They can't define down. You have to misconstrue down or strawman it.
If you want to be literal and pedantic, Jeremy, then according to the definition of down, which is towards the surface of the Earth, no, it never goes down. But if you want to say is it on the other side of the planet to you, then yes, it is. But they try to do it in really simple terms because for some reason, flat earthers have to pretend not to understand really simple things in order to have an argument about it.
Professional globers that I've been dealing with throughout the years, you know, that all them dudes over in GEMS, the rocket scientists and all those guys, the physicists, all the guys with all the degrees, they tell me it actually is going down because it's going around the curve of Earth.
Yeah, you misunderstood them all.
Come on, guys. See it. It appears to be going down because it actually is going down. Now here you guys are telling me. Now here you guys are telling me.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Finish your point. Hopefully, no more interruptions, guys. Let Jeremy finish his point.
Yeah, you're telling me it's all perspective because of my little vantage point. However, the guys with the rocket scientists and the degrees and all those dudes over in GEMS, you know who they are. They've been telling me for years that it actually is going down because it's going around the curve of Earth. And here you are telling me that it's not actually going down. It's only perspective.
But did
ask them this one question. One second, I just want to finish this off. Next time you speak to them, ask them this question. Is it reducing its elevation towards the surface of the Earth? That is down, isn't it?
Yeah, what it's doing is falling. And maybe you heard the word falling and you are just putting it as down, Jeremy? Because falling, it is considered falling, continuously falling as following an orbit, you know?
Why don't you just, Jeremy? Why don't you just explain what you mean by down?
Yeah.
Going down around the globe. It's from a horizontal position. It's going down.
Right. Then I agree with you. The tangent.
But you just pulled out a perspective.
No, listen. Relative to yourself, your vantage point alone, it would be seen to be going down in your space and your axis because it is following the curvature of the Earth, much like a ship going over the horizon. So in that respect, it's going down. It will not decrease in altitude, but it is going down in relation to you. So on that, we agree.
This perspective, it actually is going down.
It is going down in relation to my space, in relation to the up vector of me on the Earth at that location. It is not decreasing in altitude, just like the land is going down, just like the ocean is going down away from me because it's a planet. Definition's really important.
But let's see the point that he made, which
so
was
you pulled out a little.
I did, Jeremy. Hold on 1 second. He made exactly the same point, which is it's not changing in elevation. Do you understand that?
Respond to it, please. Thanks.
A
lot of horizontal.
It does change in elevation in reference point to where you're looking at it. It just doesn't change in altitude.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's having a hard time visualizing two ways of thinking of down.
That's why I keep down as really simple, and it's just towards the surface of the Earth. Then there's no ambiguity.
Okay, so just like your perspective grid, when the thing appeared to be going down from a horizontal, right? The rocket is going down from a horizontal.
Is this Try Thinking's ugly cousin or something?
I was waiting for this specific, just 30 seconds. I was waiting for this moment to give everybody a big thank you for checking in on the channel. 61 people watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for your also support. I appreciate it. Please share the show, hit the like, and support however you can. Best way to support is hit the like, share the show, and join the call. We are in the Discord server, the Daily Boom. Click and join. I'm done.
Jeremy,
did you hear what I
like
said?
this.
Did you hear what I said?
We might just
Respond to
use
what I said, please.
We might just use different words and different ways to describe what we see, but we all agree on what we see.
Okay,
so
can you
why
respond to what I
make
just
this
said,
into
though?
a wordplay and semantics? I really don't understand.
So you're not going to respond to what I just said?
Repeat. Can you
The
repeat?
rocket goes up and stays up. From your perspective, where you stand, when the rocket goes up, it seems to go down. From your perspective.
You want to
Okay,
say?
you have your perspective grid. Go ahead, Jose.
Hold on, Mars. I was gonna give you the chance to repeat what you were saying because I missed that. And after you, I know Stingray is sharing the screen, and I like this. He's got a demonstration of what we're talking about. So, but you want to say what you were saying, Jeremy, first?
Okay, so just like your perspective grid, the rocket is going down from the horizontal due to perspective. However, now we have the rocket actually going down from our horizontal, and with the rocket actually going down from our horizontal, not due to perspective.
As I said, we might just use different words and different ways to describe
Which
what
words
we see.
are you having
but
an
we
issue
all
with?
agree on what we see.
Which
That's
words?
my point.
Which words are you having an issue with? We can clarify them.
Well, you're using horizontal and perspective and everything else, but the rocket goes up and stays up. That's it.
Is horizontal? You don't know what horizontal is?
Yeah, I know what horizontal is, but I don't use that as a wordplay for semantics and definitions. That's not.
Bro, you know what horizontal
Earth isn't flat because of dictionary.
I think we should go to Stingray screen share and let him talk to Jeremy for a minute because this is looking good. What we're talking about.
Yeah, horizontal is at 90 degrees to the force of gravity. I agree with you, Jeremy.
So there's this tube here, or this path, this illuminated path. It never, in this entire path, decreases in altitude. The tangent difference between the observer and this whole path deviates over 90 degrees. Except because because this is an example that you was on about, if it goes around the Earth, is that not going down? Well, like I say, down in relation to a fixed coordinate being myself, if it goes far enough, then yes, the tangent difference is over 90 degrees. But even at that 90 degrees, it is still increasing in altitude following the curvature of the Earth. So in some respects, Jeremy, you're correct, but it does nothing to say that the Earth is flat. And it does nothing to say that these things are coming back down to Earth
correct.
because the Earth is flat. And this is my Flat Earth Alley, by the way, in case you want any other examples. Jeremy, just while I'm on, though, I don't know whether you've ever seen it. Can I ask which state you're in?
New York.
New York. Nice. So I got something a bit interesting.
Know what's
here.
coming.
I got a model. Now, very importantly, a model is a very specific way, and it doesn't have to be visual. A model absolutely doesn't have to be visual, but this one is. It's a way to actually portray what we think, and it allows us to, I hate to say the word wiggle, but it allows us to alter input variables and test them against reality. So one of the input variables that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it by eye because I can't be asked. Wait a minute, here we go. I will say that this is New York in a minute. Let's have a look.
So this is science with an independent variable we wiggle, like Riley says?
So there's a few independent items to this. One is the rotation of a ball. The other is the observer position on that ball. And I'm going to say that that's approximately New York.
Is this science with the independent variables and the experiments and all that?
No, this is statistical analysis and probability. How we interact with the world every single day. So this is your location right now. Now, another thing that I can do is I can set the month. So we're actually on the 7th of March. So I just need to come around here. Now, the weird thing about this is I've set the location, I've set the month, and now all that needs to happen is that this great big spinning ball just needs to turn, and it will give you the exact path of the sun through the sky with the observer in New York. It will tell you where the sun will rise, the degrees, where it will be highest, and where it will set.
Now what?
It will absolutely work for anywhere. It will absolutely work for anywhere. And all I've done is use the physical size of things and a distant sun. Even if this isn't true, the odd thing is it works 100% of the time. And it also predicts the terminator line. It also predicts star trails. It also predicts the orientation of the moon and the transition of the moon and its orientation change over the course of a night. So the weird thing is, the only thing that's happening is it's rotating.
Well, that's the claim, man.
That's it.
Like you said, it may not be correct.
Oh,
okay.
No, absolutely.
Now what?
This I'll give you that. This very well might not be correct. The problem is, so far, it's always been correct to reality, whereas my flat Earth model has got a 0.
I didn't present a model. I don't even know of a model.
So an interesting thing, Jeremy, is with only, like I said, a model doesn't have to be visual, and you can extrapolate. And with building it on a computer, you can also test very, very many things. So an example here is I can build a flat Earth model. And just with this single bit of understanding, a sun that appears in the sky and has to come round again on a 24-hour basis or very close to 24 hours, I can actually say, well, this sun has to be cyclic. It has to be going round. I can test every orbit possibility and every location and every altitude on a flat plane to see if any of that matches with reality.
And we're looking at the sun? We're looking at the sun in the sky?
Yeah, we're looking at the sun. Or the moon.
Okay, and you're assuming that that's the actual position of the sun.
No, just apparent.
So not actual position of the sun. This is supposed to mean what for me?
So
do you have an actual? If you had an actual position, that would do something.
Well, I can. The important thing is, Jeremy, I can set the position and test all positions. I can test the sun at 1,000,000 miles. I can test it at 1,000 miles. I can test it at 2 light years. It doesn't really matter. I can test it with all of it to see which.
Can you test it with an actual? Can you test it with an actual position?
The previous one was with an actual position, the actual known location of the sun. You know, the globe model.
Yeah, but how did you get the actual position of the sun, though? Not in the model, in reality. How did you get the actual position?
Yeah, fair play. All I did was Google search, but then I tested it, and on every single location, at every single month, on every single hour, on every single day, and every single position.
Hey, look, you have an apparent position every second, and every minute, and every month of the year. Well, I'm talking about the actual position, not apparent.
And what would be the error tolerance between the apparent and actual?
I don't know. If there's refraction, we'd have to know the medium the light's traveling through to know the refraction, right?
Correct.
Correct.
But what about if I tell you? What about if I tell you
We're
that
almost
5
there, bro.
degrees?
Hold on.
What about if I tell you 5 degrees above the horizon? That will not equate to more than half a degree, and that's what I say the exact path all the time, every time, no matter where you are, on every single day, in every single month, for anyone, just by rotating the sphere, and that's it. So even if all of that is false,
You're going
well
on and on and not letting
so
me
far,
like.
it's
I was trying to bring you somewhere a second ago. Like
100% useful. Go for it.
So you agreed we would have to know the medium in between us and the sun to know its actual position, right?
No, bad assertion. No.
No, we don't need to know. So what do you think? There's no refraction, or
I did not say that either. No.
so refraction exists, and in order to know where an actual position is, we would need to know the medium that the light's traveling to us through, right?
No, just apparent position will do. Fine. Absolutely fine.
Apparent, that means not actual position.
Yeah, give or take half a degree.
That's
like
your
I said.
assumption.
Half a degree accuracy, I'm fine with.
That's your assumption. You
There
don't
you
know
go.
the medium, though. So you don't know if it's a half a degree off its actual position.
only-
Because we don't know the medium, remember?
It's only half a degree. And can get fairly inaccurate at the horizon, but it's never more than half a degree. And if we just say 10 degrees high, there's probably a tenth of a degree through our atmosphere.
That's your claim. That's your claim. In order to know its actual position, you need to know what refraction is happening. In order for that, you need to know the medium the light is traveling through, which means you need to know the medium from us to the sun.
Yeah, we do.
I know you think you do.
Well, no.
I know you think you know the medium between us and the sun. Yes, I know.
All right, put it this way. It seems to work if we go on the atmosphere and the density of the atmosphere, a layer gradient that we're aware of, and a vacuum of space. It comports to reality. And 100% of the time, all the time, every position, all I do is rotate the sphere. This, I can't get to work even once. I could add any amount of refraction to this. Ain't going to help me.
All you need to do is figure out how the sky works. And I mean, you're trying to base geometric properties of the ground we're on based on not actual positions. Like, that's not going to do it for me. That might do it for you guys. Like I said, you can go trust NASA, trust actual positions, and think they're a half a degree off or 5 degrees off, not knowing the actual position. That's fine with me. If you guys want to believe
he knows the actual position by walking outside and looking.
That's not its actual position, Goofy. Sorry.
Enough. It's very close enough. If it's only 1 degree off, a half degree off, that's way too good for me. I'm really happy with that.
The claim is that it's a half a degree off. You don't have the actual position to know if it's a half a degree off.
Jeremy, so when we're on about position, are you on about spatial position or angular position?
The position of an object. In space.
Okay. So we've got an apparent position in our view space, which is a degree position, elevation, and on the horizontal. So I know that it's 0.5 degrees, and I know that it's going to go to 23 degrees high. Yeah, that's a position. Are you on about that, or you're on about the physical XYZ, as in 3-dimensional position of the sun? Which are you on about?
From an observer looking at the sun, you go outside, you look at the sun, right? That's the apparent position of the sun, correct? Yes. So for you to say that we're only 5 degrees off or half a degree off, you would need to know where its actual position is to know that it's only a half a degree off, right?
When I say half a degree off, I don't mean half a degree off its physical position, barring any optics or refraction. I'm on about comporting to reality only. So I do not care that it might be 1/10 of a degree off, or that it might lag 8 minutes behind its actual position. I do not care about that. The only thing I care about is when the answer is yes, because I'm not telling you the physical location at that moment in time. I'm saying this is the path that the sun should be on. Is it on this path, and is it following it? And the answer is categorically yes.
The problem is you're trying to base the geometry, the 3D spatial aspects of Earth, the ground we're living on, based on the not actual position of this object in the sky above us. That's just not going to work for me. Like I said, you guys can believe in not actual position.
And I completely, I'm completely fine with that. I'm just telling you that it's always been accurate and never failed yet. And it would be accurate for you. And if you want to plant your crops or you want to figure out when to sow your seeds, a globe would be what you would use. Even if it's not true, it's 100% accurate and brilliant at predictions. And just to run this home, this is an observer in southern Australia, in Melbourne. Now, the interesting thing about this is the path of the sun. Now, it doesn't matter what the altitude is.
The apparent path of
reality.
Of its not actual position.
Do you know what the apparent location would indicate the sun is? Would be this. It would be doing this. Except this would only ever work for someone in Australia. And if the sun was doing this, then it would match reality. Except
what is the sun actually doing? What is the sun actually? Hold on, my AirPods dying.
I got a quick question for Jeremy here in between. Quick question for Jeremy in between. How do you know that it isn't in the actual position?
That's the globe model claim that it's not in that.
Can I just add to this that this model that Stingray has here, I done exactly the same thing in SketchUp for Sydney. And as he said, there is no way possible to get this to fit anything in reality. No way. I've done this, tried it, failed.
Yeah, so Jeremy, the sunrise in Australia now is here. There's no
the not actual position of the sun is somewhere. Great, that doesn't do anything for me. If you had an actual position, that might do something for me.
Right, so the issue that you've got there is there's been loads of independent verifications of the angle to the sun. They all line up parallel and comport to a sphere. When plotted on anything flat, they're all
not
over the
actual
place.
angle to the sun, because it's an apparent position of the sun. So not actual angle.
So
apparent angle. Can we use that a word?
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. So I'm left with one amazing proposition. The proposition is as follows. We're all looking at the same object in the same direction on a sphere, or every single person is looking at a separate sun in a different direction, looking all over the place, where not one position is the same on a flat
sky could just
plane.
not be working, or the sky could just not be working the way you think it is, and it's working in some other manner. That's a possibility?
No.
Of course not.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it is a possibility. It's also a possibility that unicorns invented the flat Earth and that pixies maintain it with magic facts.
That's
However,
just silly, man. Come on.
The probability of that is so infinitesimally low, I'm willing to dismiss it and assign it to the bullshit bucket.
Yeah, you could give it Hitchens' razor.
That's fine.
Can I share screen for just 1 minute?
No.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is just about the same as Stinger did, and we never spoke of this, and we're working on totally different programs. This is SketchUp. So I have the sunrise and sunsets for Australia in the summer and winter, and from this is the path that the sun have during the year. There in the summer and here in the winter. Sorry, that's opposite. Here in the summer. But on a flat Earth, for this to work, even the slightest, the Earth has to be these small yellow dots over here. And that's just not where they see it. that's not apparent or real or anything, because this is refraction doesn't do this. So the difference between these two lines here from a globe and these small here from a flat Earth is huge, humongous.
Dude,
So
drawing lines to not
I like to
actual
stick with
positions.
the globe.
Just keep that in mind every time you guys do this. You're drawing lines to not actual positions.
So if the actual position, sorry, English is not my first language. If the actual position is down here, how can it appear over there? 90 degrees to the right and 50 degrees up. Do you think refraction does
The
that?
other question, Tommy, is it's not just a matter of that. It's how does every single position on Earth see an apparent position that would make it physically a sphere, but it's actually flat and it's a apparent position, and that apparent position, whatever's doing it, perfectly maps all of it to physically be a sphere if it was unwrapped, but not. That's crazy.
Just cite Mr. Bean there. Magic.
You guys can keep thinking you know how the sky works. I know the heliocentric model. I know the story.
Again, the difference between the flat Earth and the globe Earth is just too much to blame refraction. Sorry, it doesn't work like that.
Here's a good remember that old saying: if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, then what?
You're at a bar, B-ball. You're at a bar. You see this fly chick, right?
It's either
Like
a
a girl.
dog. It's either a dog or a man wearing a dog costume. Did you see Peacemaker, bro? You didn't learn anything, Peacemaker. Peacemaker, yeah, right. That's the name of the series.
I had a real question for you guys. Back in the 1900s, when they did that survey from mountain to mountaintop with the spherical excess thing, how could you measure thousandth of a degree of an arc second? Sorry, thousandth of an arc second. Do you guys think that is possible?
I'm a little bit of a scientist myself. Let me tell you. Let me answer that question. I need clarification. Did you look in the actual data where they got this thousandth of a degree?
Yeah, I've seen the numbers. I'm just wondering what the
do you understand? Do you understand why they say this thousand of a degree? Did you read the paper? Because I heard you a few days ago, and you actually, unless you watched it in the past 24 hours and you looked at the documents, I don't think you have looked at the documents.
Yeah, we went over it yesterday in Gems.
Exactly. So did you? And that's what I heard you on YouTube, and you have never looked at these papers in detail. As far as I know.
No, I have. We went over this paper. They were Fundy muting me all day over there. We went over these papers in Gems about a year ago. I spent about 3 days just going over this paper with Phil Ko and a couple of those guys. So we've gone over this paper in depth.
And I'm going to guess and say no.
Now I'm saying, what's up?
Said I'm going to guess and say no.
So a thousandth of an arc second, what difference does that make to anything?
I'm just curious if anyone here thinks that would have been possible in the 1900s.
It would have been statistically probable to extrapolate it based on averages and multiple readings, but not with a single instrument. I wouldn't have thought so, but I'm guessing.
Not in a single measurement. I don't think personally the best. If you look up total stations and just do a Google search for total stations, it'll come up the best. The total stations now, they do about an arc second, right? Because that's 3,600 parts of just a single degree. That's very tiny.
But what you can do, Jeremy, is to increase accuracy when there's variance, whether it be measurement, instrument, unit, or environmental like refraction, you can take many measurements, and even though it's diminishing returns, the more you do, the more accurate it will be. So in terms of that, can you get down to that accuracy? Maybe if you did, like 1,000 of them, possibly. I don't know.
You could measure to the 100th of an arc second, and you did an average. Sure, maybe you could get to the 1,000th after the average is done. But my whole thing was, that wasn't a singular measurement. It was an average. I mean, is there any surveyors in here? Or Larry was, I don't know if you listened to it, Jose. Larry was pretty much agreeing with me.
I'm just curious though. What's your point about this thousands of nanosecond? What do you want to do with it?
There's in this document, this giant fucking document, measurements listed, and all the measurements they have listed are to 3 digits after the arc second. Right?
Yeah. So
you say that
point is those.
Okay, you think that this document has been forged and they just put numbers and they say like, yeah, we got it within this accuracy, very fine, very small numbers. So there you go. Earth is a globe. You just disagree with the numbers, or what is going on? What's your question?
No, I'm saying this is about the paper. This is an average of the measurements, right? There, and this is a I forget what kind of average they call it when you throw out the outliers. I can never remember the name of that. You guys don't know the name of it?
You have mean, median, mode.
No, it's something else. It's a type of mean or something. Anyways, they do a certain average where they'll throw outliers out and then do an average off of whatever's left. And that's the type of average. I just want to see I just want to see the actual measurements, right? Not the average, the actual measurement. And I can't find that for the spherical excess thing. And I've spent days and days and days on this.
Spherical excess, that's what you're going for. Okay, thanks. You don't need arc seconds for that. It's a bit more than that.
How far off would it have to be for it to not be a globe?
What's up?
All the measurements they made. How far off would all these measurements have to be?
I haven't.
Not be what it is.
I haven't seen the measurements. Have you?
May I share again?
Have you seen the measurements?
No, but but
nobody's seen them. Yeah, nobody's seen them.
I'm sure somebody's seen them.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen them. If anybody's seen them, let me know.
So, do you see my screen here, Jeremy?
Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. We got a big triangle up there. I got you.
Yeah. It's not that much about thousands of an arc second. It's probably a bit more than that. This is a large one. Pretty large just to show what happens, but it's the angles from side to side, not so much up and down. And that triangle has angles of 184.42 degrees. On a flat surface, that
Okay,
would
so
be
this triangle we're looking at has more than 180 degrees?
Yep. That's a spherical triangle.
By standing on one of the pyramids, and then measuring how many degrees are in the other two pyramids, between other two pyramids, right?
So if you get more than 180 degrees.
So 3 line of sight objects, you make a triangle between 3 line of sight objects, right? Is that what you're doing here?
As far away as you can from each other, yes.
But again,
this is a bit far because this
see all the targets.
Not on this one because this is your
do it.
The other end of the states.
Do it.
Yeah, but as far away as I can see from
when they actually do it, they're making a triangle in between 3 points that all have a line of sight. Is that what they're doing? Question mark.
Probably. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a surveyor. I was one for 20 years ago, but this is the way to do it, and you get a sphere.
Oh, you were a surveyor?
I worked as one from 1994 to 1999, yeah. But we were not searching for the curvature of the Earth. I did not search for the curvature of the Earth.
Could you measure?
This is over
1 arc second, a 10th, 100.
I'm not qualified to answer that. That is far too long ago. Sorry.
I might have remembered.
Yeah.
So you realize if you have line of sight on 3 points and you make a triangle, you can't get more than 180 degrees, right?
I'll do for
I
the
said if you have line of sight on 3 points.
Key points.
Sorry, everybody listening on YouTube. I am pushing the laptop to the limits, so it's not a pretty stream that we're having going on over here. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Big shout out to John Watson for a £5 super chat. Here is to the Tommy Gromwald. Thumbs up. Thank you very much.
It's going to be more than 180 degrees.
This is ridiculous.
You can probably have a longer longer line of measurements, of course, but you end up at the same point as it is.
If you have 3 points, hold on, B-ball, relax. If you have 3 points, straight line to all of them, unimpeded, there's a possibility that it could be more than 180 degrees, really.
Not a possibility. It will be.
You can do it on a ball, just like I did in the chat.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
No, it's just fair.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's just silly.
Look, Jeremy, it's very simple. Look in the chat. I did it myself.
Yo, I got 3 points. I draw a straight line to all the points. You think that could possibly equal 180 degrees? That is insane.
Yes, Jeremy.
I don't even know how to respond to this because it's just.
Jeremy, do it on a sphere. You can do it right now. Go get a ball and do it. I did it. Look in the chat. Look in the chat. You see the ball, the blue ball that I drew? And I use a protractor to measure the angles?
Bro, listen to me. You can't, if you have a line of sight on 3 points and you draw a straight line to all 3 of those points, they will never have more than 180 degrees. It's not possible.
I did it.
The whole reason that you get over 180 degrees is because it's supposed to be a spherical triangle and the lines are supposed to be curving. If you have straight lines, you won't get that. You need to have curving lines to have a spherical triangle.
Jeremy, you can have a straight line.
B-ball, do you understand what I'm saying?
Jeremy, you can have a straight line on a sphere. It's called a geodesic.
On the surface of a sphere, you can have a straight line.
Jeremy. It's called a geodesic.
Yes. And that curved straight line, that geodesic.
Jeremy.
All my lines were straight. All my lines were straight.
And that geodesic is why you hold on, guys, please. And that geodesic, the reason that line curves is the reason for that line curving is the reason why you get more than 180 degrees. If that line is actually straight and not curving in that axis, you'll never get more than 180 degrees.
That's the difference between a flat surface and a curved surface. We understand that, Jeremy.
Yes, but he has 3 points line of sight. Straight lines to them.
Over a curved surface.
Someone's broke the
what's underneath. The lines are all going to be straight, not curving in any axis.
They are straight.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Anamorphic Mind for the super chat. Here is to John Watson with a $5 super chat. And before, we had a super chat by John Watson with £5 saying, here is to the Tommy Gromwald. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for that, John. May I share again so I can clean up this mess? Oh. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being old.
Okay, Jeremy. From this triangle here, this pyramid, the guy standing on top here, this triangle on top with the 43.75, that's his eye level or horizon or horizontal, whatever. That blue in the middle here, just the spherical excess, but the yellow part, that's the triangle, where it says 184.42. That's all straight lines. Same here. When it stands on this one, this dark part here, 91.97. That's his horizontal.
Questions. Hold on. You're claiming that they're not looking, they don't have a direct line of sight. They're somehow curving their line like that over the top of the pyramid, so it curves a little bit in the middle when they look from top to top.
Oh, direct line of sight is this line here. Follow the eye. That's the direct line of sight.
Yeah, the straight one. So you're claiming that you can connect 3 points with that straight line, not bending in any axis, and it's going to be more than 180 degrees.
Sure.
Dude, that's insane. That's not even coherent, bro.
That's a sphere. That's how spherical triangle works.
It's not how it works. It's not how it works, bro. The only reason you're supposed to be getting over 180 degrees in that triangle of spherical excess is because the lines are curving.
Do you see any curving on that yellow line there? Is that curving?
He doesn't understand, Jeremy.
There is no curving at that yellow line.
He doesn't understand, Tommy. He doesn't understand.
No, he doesn't understand, dude, and obviously neither do you.
Do you not
visualize it? Even when you're even when you're showing a visualization, he still can't visualize it.
It's kind of sad, really. The top here, the blue part, that's curving, but that's just visual something. The yellow part here, that's not curving. That's the line of sight. That's no curve. That's a straight line. That's a spherical triangle. And stop sharing.
Boom. Is there
So
silence?
maybe, boom. Now, maybe Jose, I was going to give you, you want the $500 word of the day?
Go for it.
Aphantasia. Have you heard of it?
Fantasia, no. Aphantasia.
Yeah, aphantasia or aphantasia. Yeah, it's not a Disney movie. It's a medical condition that was first they discovered like 100 years ago, but it was given a name recently. It's you can test someone. Say, close your eyes. Can you visualize something? Can you see, a truck? If they can't, they have aphantasia. A lot of people have it. They just can't visualize things in their mind's eye is blind. But a lot of people go on to have successful lives with aphantasia. Do not fret.
Actually, my son has some of that.
$1 million in front of me, and it's not there.
My son has Asperger's, and he has somewhat lacking of fantasy, so he can't just close his eyes and see things. It doesn't work like that. So yeah.
I got a word for you. Supernumerary.
Is that like a Sagan?
Huh?
A Sagan is billions and billions.
No, supernumerary, it means an excess, something extra. Is anatomically wise. I mean, it might be something for objects, inanimate objects, but for living creatures and objects, supernumerary is for anatomy. Like I got a condition. I got a supernumerary nipples, supernumerary nipples, because I got 3 instead of 2. That's what we're talking about.
Do you?
Yes.
Can we move this away from nipples?
Yes, please, please. Save us.
Jeremy, I don't know whether you're still there. I've got well, if you can, I've got a question for you. If you're not if you don't believe in gravity, it's something I asked flat earthers. If you're there,
he's still in here.
He's still here.
Yeah, he might be busy though.
Super Illuminati.
So
Go ahead, Ben.
Listen, I got the kids here. You guys got to get your head straight and realize that the only reason you're getting over 180 degrees is because the lines curve. If you have straight lines that aren't curving in any axis and you connect 3 points, that's never going to add up to 180 degrees. That's silly to think so.
Did you see any curves in my yellow lines?
No, but in all fairness, I'm going to agree with Jeremy. The thing that wasn't very apparent was the the normal of the surface, and it's the difference is the normal in the surface, which allows for that.
You guys, come on, man. This is silly.
Can I spell your name, Jeremy? Germe. Is that correct?
That's not how I normally spell it, but however you want.
But if you read it Jeremy, yeah, Germe. I like that. I like it that way.
That's right.
Hey, big shout out to Anamorphig Kind for a $5 super chat, Anamorphig. Jose, boom. If you draw a line between 3 nipples, will it be larger than 180 degrees? Fucking hey, that's beautiful. Yes, because there's gonna be a curve like in the sternum, and line it up. It's gonna be, if I draw a line between my 3 nipples, it will be over 180 degrees, and it will still be a triangle. John Watson for £5.
It's flat.
I have definitely got this super chat correct this time. Thank you very much. I'm not gonna do that because when I turn my camera on, the stream wanna break, and if I actually show my third nipple, it will definitely break.
Come on!
I have
experiment.
I've already showed it.
Science.
I'm gonna take a picture. I'll show you a picture.
We gotta draw lines between and get measurements.
Carry on, guys.
I think that's how you broke your computer in the first place.
Oh, the Stingray with a £5 super chat, John. No, you haven't. John say he got the super chat correct this time. No, you haven't. Say the Stingray. Thank you, Stingray.
Jeremy, just a really quick question. You don't believe in gravity, do you?
There might be something going on, but I think it's pretty much the observation we make. That the definitive thing is that relative density is what causes objects, whether they go up or down.
Awesome. Because I'd love for you to just have a look at this little. I'm going to share my screen. It's a little thought experiment that I'd like your input on, which would be awesome.
No doubt.
Just let me know when you can see it.
I see it.
So I've got.
I see it.
So I've got a 10 kilogram iron bar here, and it's applying a force to the scales, which is reading 10 kilograms. Now I've got various different sealed containers, one with water, and just so you know, it's 14 psi. One with oxygen, one that's got very low psi, so it's a hell of a lot lower than the others, just with 1 psi. One with incredibly high psi, 10,000. And then I've got mercury in 14 psi. Now,
this is very confusing off the start, but go ahead.
If I tear all these scales or zero them out, right? Which just means, we zero them at the point they are at, and then I insert the 10 kilogram gold bar. Can you guess what will register on the scales if it's in water?
Probably 10 kilograms more than it weighed last time.
And the oxygen.
Sorry, what?
And the oxygen. We're going through them. It's time for the oxygen, or more or less?
Oh, I don't know. I thought they were all sealed, bro, because you had certain PSIs on them.
Yeah, they are. 14 psi. It's got oxygen in, and there's an iron bar inside it now that's 10 kilograms of weight. What does the scale read?
Probably 10 kilograms more than what it weighed before.
Yeah. And what about, so it weighed 0 before because we zeroed them out. And what about the one in the low PSI? So not a lot of stuff in here at all. It's near vacuum.
So you had it at 1 PSI, you scale out, then you put the gold bar in, put it back to 1 PSI?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 10. They're all going to weigh 10 kilograms more, I'm guessing.
All right, and even the mercury, yeah, where the iron bar is actually floating.
All right, let me throw this big shout out to John Watson.
Stuff.
Big shout out to John Watson, £5. Yes, I fucking have, you English cunt. Damn, says John Watson about the super chat. Sorry, no swearing.
Wow, John.
He went in hot.
So yeah, they're all going to weigh 10 psi. So in a sealed container, when we vary the density, it made not a blind bit of difference to the downward force exerted on the scales by a 10 kilogram weight. Is that fair to say?
You changed the say it again.
So since these all read 10, and you're correct, they would read 10. And since we varied the material density that surrounds each of these, so in the first one, water, in the second, oxygen, third, near vacuum, fourth, a very high PSI of anything we want, and mercury being the last one, they all read 10. Since we're varying the density of the surrounding material of this iron block, and it always the same, is it fair to conclude the density surrounding it didn't make a difference?
For the thing is, you'd have to put the scale inside the thing. You haven't varied the medium that this stuff's in. It's still all in the medium of air down the whole line, every scale, right? Whatever medium this atmosphere is, that's where all the the measurements are being taken place.
Oh, good one. So what you're saying is if we placed a scale underneath these iron things, they'd read different in all of them, correct?
Well, in the fifth one, I mean, if you have a scale on the...
Yeah, the fifth one wouldn't get down there. Obviously, it's floating. But I mean, on the ones that aren't floating.
Yeah, things way different in water because of the relative density.
So this 10 kilograms would weigh slightly different, would it?
In the second one, in the first one,
In the water and the oxygen, let's say.
number one, yeah, that would probably weigh different, I'm guessing, because things weigh different in what I think if you were to put a scale on the bottom of the ocean floor and then go step on it, right? What would you weigh?
Yeah, so I can work that out from buoyancy. Except iron's got a very low, due to the density difference here. Even though this will fall at a different rate due to the resistance of the water, when it gets down to the bottom, if you had incredibly accurate scales, you might be able to register the buoyant force. But I'm not entirely sure that you and I have access to scales that are available.
Probably not.
So the density, even though water and air is incredibly different in density, it didn't make hardly any difference to the downward force. Is that correct? Here's another quick question.
Well, it did make... What's up?
It might make a minuscule difference, but not a terrible amount.
Sure. See how in the last one you change the medium that the gold bar or whatever's in and it's floating.
Oh, iron bar. Yeah. Gold wouldn't float.
That's fine. But iron would. That's fine. The iron bar. See how it's higher than all the other ones because we changed the medium that it's in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Things are determined. You guys call it buoyancy or relative gravity or some shit. I forget the name you call it, but you guys have a word for it. It's just relative density.
Now,
specific gravity. It's called specific gravity. Yeah.
So if I were to say that a downward force of 9.8 meters per second is acting on all of these, regardless of what they're in, do you think there's any way that we could test that theory? Because that theory wouldn't be true if the medium is responsible for it, correct?
There could be an overarching thing, keep pulling things down. Sure. As far as bending of space-time, like when you say gravity, that's the current model of gravity is bending space-time. So I don't agree to that.
Oh, no, I just, gravity to me is the apparent acceleration, the downward acceleration that all things experience that is surface independent and is a volume effect. And that's all I can say. And it seems to be mass dependent.
Sure. It doesn't appear to apply to, gas though, right? Because gas is moving around all the time.
Oh no, it applies to everything. The fact that the atmosphere is in flux due to being a fluid requires that there be forces at play. So yes, it's downward force is apparent in gases.
And an empty scuba tank is lighter than a full scuba tank.
Yes, in a container, gas has weight. Yes, but when it's not in the container, and let's say you pull a vacuum, right? You can't weigh a gas molecule because it's going up. It has no. If weight is the downward force, right? Gas molecules going up.
Are most gases heavier than air or lighter than air?
Well, do you agree that weight is the downward force? I'll answer your question.
Do you agree that most gases are heavier than air?
Gases, the air is gas. What? Most other gases
our
that aren't in the
atmosphere.
air?
The air that we breathe is 78% nitrogen. The air in our atmosphere.
So you think most gases are lighter than
gases, like elemental gases, are they heavier or lighter than
Well,
air?
air's the mixture. It's not a thing in and of itself. So for you to ask if something's lighter than air would have to be a thing in and of itself and not a mixture. Like you said, air is a mixture of nitrogen, argon, and other gases. So are you saying is it heavier than nitrogen? Is it heavier than argon? Which part of the mixture? If you're saying that the mixture has some sort of particular property, it's kind of hard to say what's heavier or lighter than what if it's a mixture of different things.
It's not hard. It's been done. All gases have weights compared to air.
Well,
there's only
properly,
most gases are heavier than air. Most gases are heavier than air, except for hydrogen and helium.
Listen, gas definitely has weight in a container, no question. I wouldn't argue that.
Big thank you to Stingray for sharing the screen, and big shout out to Tommy Grumble for also coming in and sharing a little bit of love over here. And he had to leave. Shout out to Lemon, to Jeremy for hanging in here with us as the opposite view. I always enjoy, having that. This is why I do this, so people can come in and exchange ideas and all this good stuff.
Is air weight in a container?
Air has weight if you have it in it. If you put a gas in a container,
gas,
you can control
air.
You can control that it's not air is a gas.
So
if you have gas in a container, hold on. In a container, you can make sure it's not going up. Like you don't know what outside of a container, you don't know which gas is going up, which gas is going down. It's there's two different types of weights. George told me before. One's a static weight, and there's a different kind of weight where it's fluctuating or some shit. I don't know, but it's not important. If it's not contained, then you don't know which gas is which. It's spreading all over the place, mixing up. Like you don't know what's what after that.
That doesn't mean it suddenly loses its property. In fact, just like a tree falls, just because you're not there to hear it, it still makes those sound waves. Just like air has a gas, whether you are there to weigh it or not.
Sure. Is weight the downward force that we measure with scales and shit? Would you agree to that?
I would.
You would agree to that?
Yeah.
On a scale, we get it. Well, Blue, I got another bone to pick with you about that survey thing. Actually.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Why does gas in a cylinder have weight, Jeremy?
Bro, I don't even know if I could take you serious with that gas pressure without a container video you put out. Did you change the name of that yet?
Let's try to talk about what's today on the table today, please.
That'll do.
Yeah.
All right. What about your gas pressure in a container? Yeah, it's got weight. Then what?
Why does it have weight? I'd say that it's a interaction. It's the substance interacting with some sort of background field, be it a charge field, an ether field that's going in and out of different barriers. This field is ever present, and it's present even in the vacuum. Deciding what goes up, down, or floats, like the water in the egg, were just objects in the ether floating, going down or rising, depending on our interaction with this background etheric field.
Okay, guys, we need a little bit of relaxation in here. Blue, you asked a question to Jeremy. Maybe if you want to repeat it, and we'll take it from there, just one at a time, guys. Please let Blue have the floor for a few minutes and talk to Jeremy.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if Jeremy could tell me why he thinks the gas in a cylinder has weight. Why does it have weight? If the gas is moving in all directions equally, right? And it would indicate it's bouncing off all the surfaces equally, right? Why does gas have weight then?
Because if you can contain it, if you can contain it, and then you know which gas is which, like, all right, I have this gas here, this is weighing more on the scale, good. If you have gas going up, you agree that that weight is the downward force we measure. If something's going up, how are we going to measure the downward force on it?
So you're saying that that it's not equal, then the force on the bottom of the cylinder is greater than the force on the top of it, doesn't it? In order for it to have weight, in order for us to be able to measure weight, it's causing
So the weight,
what's causing the gas what would be causing the weight? The gas molecules strike the bottom of the cylinder harder than they strike the top, Jeremy. It's a single gas, not a combination of gases.
Pressing down, causing it to go down. It's causing it to go down. However, when we put that same amount of gas into a balloon or something, it's not going down anymore, and it has no weight now because it's off the scale in the air.
It's pressing in all directions, though, Jeremy. Pressure is the same in the tank, right? No matter where you measure the pressure, it's all the same.
Okay, we take whatever the pressure is in the tank and we put that pressure inside a balloon.
I'm not talking about a balloon. I was talking about the. I'm just trying to figure out why you think what your explanation would be for our ability to weigh a difference in the gas cylinder, empty versus full of gas. No liquid now, just a gas.
Because gas in the container has weight. We can measure it.
Yeah, we can. But there's a reason for it.
Because it's contained.
Oh, gravity.
The reason is because it's
called
contained.
Gravity.
Well,
no, it's because.
Listen, I'm not debating. I'm not debating if there's some overarching downward force that very well could be.
Okay.
You've been
so asked. The same thing happens when the gas is, whether the gas is in the container or not in the container. That overarching thing that you're talking about is still happening to that gas. Contained or otherwise. That's why we have atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that's a good story, but let's talk about this spherical excess measurement that you posted yesterday in Gems. You want to talk about that?
Run away.
Spherical excess, sure. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, page 43, or maybe it was 36. I forgot. You had a measurement, right? That you said this was an actual measurement. So you were supposed to. I'm guessing you meant that was a singular measurement one time of looking through the scope, right?
Nobody makes a singular measurement one time looking through a scope. Nobody does that.
Nobody looks through a scope and takes it. Nobody looks through a scope and takes a measurement once.
Yeah, you look through the scope. You write a number down. You walk away. You look through the scope again. Write a number down. You do a lot. You do that a lot. You don't just look one time, write a number down, and then run for the hills.
And when you do it once, all right. Let's say you just did it the first time. That one time. What would you call that? A singular, like one measurement, right? A singular measurement.
Yeah, call it whatever you like. You just taking one measurement. That's all.
Well, that's that paper that you posted on page 36 or whatever it was. That wasn't one of those, right? That was an average of measurements.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
It's an average, right? You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Of course, that's an average. Yeah. What I was looking for, and what me and another person were talking about, was I was looking for the actual measurement, the actual measurement.
You want okay? You want the guy's field data books is what you want. Okay.
The data, the measurements, yeah, the measurements.
Yeah, you want his field notes.
I just want whatever it
nobody
is.
is
I just
gonna,
want the measurements.
no. Typically, nobody's gonna publish that sort of stuff.
I think it's crazy. I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask for the measurements, though.
No, professionals are not accustomed to having their veracity called into question, Jeremy.
That's fine. I still don't think it's
surveyors. They don't believe that they have to prove to you that they did their job correctly.
When people come up to me and they say, "Hey, I got spherical excess measurements," and I ask for the measurements, you wouldn't say that's unreasonable of me to ask for the measurements, would you?
I gave them to you.
You gave me an average.
That summarizes the data. That's good enough.
Yeah, you gave me an average of the measurements. I was looking for the actual measurement.
What are you going to do? Check and see if you average the fuckers correctly, Jeremy?
Oh,
you think a professional land surveyor can't do an average? What the fuck?
I'm sure you know that wasn't a regular average they took, right? They threw the outliers away, whatever that average is called.
Well, that's quite normal with most things.
Yeah.
Yes, you get rid of there's nothing wrong with getting rid of outliers.
Sure. So I just want to see what the data was, what the measurements were, and then you claim you got measurements. I just want to see them. That's all.
Well, if you can prove to me that you're more qualified than that guy that did that, then I'll go and see if I can find the guy that did that and get the measurements for you.
I'm not saying I'm more qualified than anyone. I do have guys that know how to do this stuff that I can bring it to and just double check. So
you don't.
If I said I had a unicorn, and you were like, "Let me see the unicorn," I'd be like, "Nah, that's unreasonable." Like that's what you guys do to me with this spherical excess measurement thing.
Name those guys, Jeremy.
Well, people
don't
are
worry
pretty
about who my
confident.
people-
I mean,
Yeah, what are you guys doing? You
the
just give them the
measurements are
damn raw data or not? It's if you can't, then just leave it at that. You can't.
the measurements are fine. It's the interpretation of the measurements. Why are we getting spherical excess like 183 degrees when we add up these triangles, or 177 degrees, or whatever? It's probably because refraction and the diffraction limit is eating up the angle and making us add up weird triangles in a way that doesn't add up to 180 or whatever. That's probably it. The interpretation is questionable. That's all. Not a sphere, just perspective.
Hold on, I got a question.
Nothing to interpret.
I got a quick question for Jeremy.
Go ahead.
A quick question for Jeremy. How do you know? How do they get the average if they did not make an actual measurement, Jeremy? So they actually did an actual measurement. That's how they get the average, right?
Sure, they did measurements, got an average. Boom, they gave us the number. Yep.
Okay. So they have done measurements. They have taken measurements. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming if they have the measurements there, yeah.
And they did this 100,000 times across the world.
Some people is asking if you got any measurements to present, Jeremy. Just one. It's not unreasonable. Shout out to John Rat.
Sorry, what do you want?
Any measurement that you want to share with us?
No, I don't have any. Where's the bag? Where'd the bags go?
Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Am I hot micing for you guys on Discord? That's a little bit of sirens in the background. Nothing.
Blue, is all the information there that if anybody wanted to go make these measurements themselves, they'd be able to make the measurements themselves?
It's a lot of silence. I'm asking myself, why don't we have 43 likes when we have 56 people watching? So I don't know. You guys should hit the thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see when they did the survey of the Bolivian salt flats. They've got triangles all over it, and you can see on the big. I guarantee in the bigger triangles, you're going to have a bit more than 180 degrees. They surveyed such a massive area. It's all level, and yeah, I can show you a picture of it. The survey of the salt flats. It's fantastic. Those are really big triangles. They're gonna have more than 180. You could go out and verify it yourself.
Do you have line of sight on the points?
They did it with to calibrate the satellites, GPS satellites, back in like 2004 or something.
Is this a spherical access measurement, or what is it?
They did it with trucks down on the salt flats, and yeah, you can.
They drove a truck in a straight line.
Yourself.
They drove
In
a truck
fact,
in a
it's a
straight
place
line.
where you- What's that?
I'm trying to figure out what they did with the trucks.
So the trucks have the GPS antennas on them, and they're calibrating the. I'm not sure if it was Magellan. That was another set of satellites, GPS satellites. Anyway, I'll post the video, but you can see they did giant triangles all over the flats. And I'm going, without even looking at the numbers, I'm going to bet any amount of money that those triangles have more than 180 degrees.
That's cool. Like, let's just see the actual measurements that they took. You know, of how many degrees are in between the angles.
Jeremy, what would seeing the actual measurement do for you?
Bro, I'm gonna bring it. I almost said something crazy. I'm gonna look over the data, B-ball. That's what I'm gonna do.
And then what?
And what are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna look at it and find the holes in it, and I'm gonna fucking take a big nasty shit all over this.
Better yet,
He's
why don't
gonna
you go
find
and
the
do the
holes.
measurements yourself?
I did.
Wow.
Because so many times
I'm gonna
you
take
said, "Oh, I'm gonna look
huge
into it,"
poop all over,
and you
all over
never
this
have.
bullshit. Dude, I've never seen measurements. I've been going up
What are you gonna do with
professional guys for
If the
a
measurements
long
are
time.
given to you, what are you gonna do with them? What are you gonna do with the measurements when we
Bro,
give them
I'm
to
gonna
you?
give them
What?
to my
Give
people.
them to your people.
I'm gonna give them to my people, and I'm gonna see what they say.
What?
And my people's people take a look at it, and we're gonna sort this
Who
shit
are
out.
they?
You keep
Don't
digging.
worry
They're
about
gonna-
it.
you're not
gonna do it.
They're going to take a big.
That's it. Just say it. I'm not gonna do
That's not really a big
Okay,
concern
just
here.
be truthful. You're not gonna look at it.
I mean, I know.
I mean,
people, yo.
I mean, we know the
Take
people
a
you
big
associate with.
dump on it means you're starting off with your conclusion
I'm
first, and then
heavily
trying to
biased.
justify.
Yes, I have a heavy bias towards this being bullshit. Yeah,
Why?
I admit it.
Why?
Because I'm probably because I'm a flat earther, and you guys are claiming that you got
You have a heavy
globe Earth
ignorance.
evidence.
You do.
Yeah, and you have no flat Earth evidence. Have you noticed that?
Why is that, Jeremy?
I mean, it's just funny how you keep saying you're gonna look at it and you want to see the actual measurements, but you're not gonna do anything with the measurements. So why ask?
I am
for
gonna do something. Definitely gonna do
No,
something.
you're
with the measurements.
not.
I'm gonna
Just
look.
stop
I'm gonna
lying.
go over it. I'm gonna have my people.
Why waste all the time?
Dude, that
You have the
I'm
time
trying to
go
be
make your own
respectful and
measurements.
say nice things here, and you're just calling names, man. Come on, bro. Get it together. Come on, tell them.
Hey, I'm not calling you a name. I'm just saying.
Your
man.
boy's
You've
calling
said
me
so
a
many
liar,
times
man.
you're
What
gonna do
the
this.
fuck?
Come on, guys.
I mean,
Yeah, nobody should call Jeremy out on his bullshit, Joel. Just let him go.
Yeah,
with
I've
it.
never. I don't lie like that. Like,
Give me enough rope.
Ever get a chance to look into optics, Jeremy?
well, which optics?
or have you ever gotten a chance to look at
Of course
that
we
physics
looked in
book I
optics.
gave to you? Remember that
Yeah,
physics book I gave to you? You never looked into that.
Bro, what's your argument? What's your argument, dude?
Okay, hold
That
on.
I never looked at a physics book. You got me.
All right, hold on.
You sent me a physics
hold on
book.
before.
I never
Please.
looked at it. You got me.
Before we carry on, Doofy, I just over here on screen so people know. Rakia say, Jose, as usual, your trolls call me Puro Boy. I responded on your mods, time me out. Yeah, well, you say, Jose, I didn't call anyone a name. You just wrong again. Puro Boy. Please don't get me kicked again by trolling me. LOL. Don't type it, bro. How are you calling yourself Puro Boy, Rakia, without a range? Don't call yourself names. Don't use names when you don't have a range, bro. You know you don't have a range. You have to learn the responsible trolling in your case without a range is not calling anybody names. People can call you names when they have a range. I'm keeping an eye on it. When there's a personal attack, yeah, I will time him out. I will take care of the people. But when you don't have a range, don't call others names or yourself. Don't repeat what they say because you will get time out. They won't. You will. Thank you. That's bias. Moderation is tight. Boom. I'm such an asshole.
Respect. Respect.
I would just like to point out,
because we're all
just... that at not too far in the past, like about 5-6 months ago, I did provide full PDF and various documentation sources for refraction through density gradient and the organization of our atmosphere, such that would produce looming in the vastly common case, which Jeremy is still not looked into.
Or you did the experiment in a very small area, right? That would be the equivalent of me taking a fish tank and measuring the top of it and saying there's no curve, Earth's flat. That's what you do with this refraction thing, basically.
Jeremy's not real good with
Did
analogies.
that is what you guys do. Did I use? Hold on, just 1 second.
Why are you yelling? Yo, you need to calm down, dude.
Hold on.
Calm down, bro. I can't. This is too
All right,
aggressive.
don't interrupt, Jeremy. Let's try not
It's
to
too
interrupt him
aggressive, bro.
because he
knows where I'm going with
He will get the word out, Jeremy. Even in
No,
top of
I'm
your
interrupting because
interruption.
he's yelling at me.
Well,
I'm interrupting because he's
when
yelling at me, bro.
then when you keep interrupting, he will yell more. So we're gonna server mute you so he can say his piece. Go ahead, man.
All right. Did I use a fish tank as an example? No. I used gas, and I used light through a gas and how it bent in that gas. I didn't use a fish tank. Don't come in with that lie.
He rage quit because he didn't like being
rage
muted.
quit.
He
Of course
muted
he rage quit.
because he wanted to keep interrupting. That's why Gary have done that sometimes now. He knows that will happen. If you just interrupt for the hell of it, just to fuck with the other person, you will get time out. I mean, if it's a normal conversation back and forth, it's okay. But what you were doing, Jeremy, was wrong. That's why I timed you out, and you just rage quit.
Amen.
I seem to break the chew toys. Sorry.
No.
Hey.
It's okay.
Hey guys, any flurfs here? I would like to ask some questions.
Jeremy just quit.
Was he the only one?
Gary's here though.
Oh, Gary's
no,
here.
Lemonbird was here. Lemonbird was here for a while, and then he just left too.
Gary might be available if he's not too busy working.
Gary's just a one-trick pony though, so you have to ask him something either about the Rayleigh criterion or perspective or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't ask him anything else.
Yeah, it's questions about that.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no others, then I'll wait.
He got all mad at me when I called him out for being a liar, and he's not going to look at the equations. I mean, he called me out for calling him a liar. What the hell?
Oh yeah, don't straw man his straw man. He gets mad at that too.
Exactly. That's yeah.
I personally just don't understand why they don't just do the experiments themselves, come up with their own conclusions.
Because
present that.
It's because flat earthers come up with the conclusions themselves, and they just use that. They use conclusions that other flat earthers have made, and they use that as evidence.
Are those results published and with all the parameters there that somebody else can repeat that same test? Usually not.
No, at least he said that he was gonna, take the data and, wipe his extremities with it. At least he admitted that he was biased and that. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go track down all this data and give it to you, and then it kind of like it reminded me of doing setting thermometers out to measure the temperature of the cold moonlight. After the second night, I was like, this is stupid.
And it's like, did you get every possible variable that they can possibly dream of? They didn't test for that. They didn't test for the cat walking by the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would appreciate Jeremy can come back. He's welcome to come back. He's mad because I don't. He's out of control, and I just whatever unnecessary muting. He called him, but the other guy was yelling because you interrupted him, and he raised his voice so he can finish his point. And then when he relaxed again, you kept interrupting, so he yelled more. That's why I muted you. If you didn't interrupt, it would have been funny to hear him yell, just yell and stuff by himself, and then you would have the chance to address him. And you could yell if you wanted to. You could call him names, and nobody was going to interrupt you because fair is fair. When you interrupted him, we would have a shit show with nobody being heard and too messy. I like a controlled mess when somebody is yelling and calling names, and I let the person speak, and then the other person address them back. Shout out to Rakia.
Yeah.
In the chat box.
I think at this point, it all is just a show. I mean, if you were in the beginning of this discussion, whichever started in 2015 or whatever, if by now you're still claiming that you're looking for the truth, you're not looking for the truth, or you could care less about the truth, and you just want to continue your narrative because so much evidence has come out, so many things have happened, and for you to just continue to believe that the Earth is flat, I mean, at this point, you're just lying to yourself purposely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. They are lying to themselves. They don't want to accept that they were wrong. And it's like, it's better you just come out saying, you know what, I was wrong. We're not going to judge you then. We're just going to say, okay, come back and we're going to talk about it in a civil way.
Well, Jeremy wouldn't get the attention then. This is all about attention for Jeremy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. He wants the attention, just like Lemonberg.
And we all know who are the real ones who are actually looking for the truth. Those are the ones that are no longer flat earthers.
Exactly.
Maybe he didn't rage quit. Maybe he just went to consult with his peeps.
Nah.
No,
I think he's on. In other words, he's gone straight to Bev's server or wherever.
No, he hangs out in Geos mostly. I think.
Whatever that is. I'll take your word for it.
I gave him all the materials he needed to figure out what light will do in our atmosphere and how our atmosphere is made up and all that stuff. And it's not really that hard. It's not really that big of an ask to read maybe 100 pages when the intervening months, 5 or 6 months, he's been doing nothing but playing Flat Earther the whole time. It's not like he's busy. But 6 months later, he still hasn't fucking read it.
They don't care. That's the point. They don't care.
I have a deal. I have a deal for Rakia. Rakia, you'll get a range in the chat box for $99.99, or you will get a range when you are a new person. But I already know the name Rakia and Rakia Life. So if you rejoin with a different account that doesn't have Rakia or Life in it, then I'll probably give you a range because you'll be a new person. Yeah, deal.
So we all know that you can't have a conversation with Rakia.
Who?
Rakia Life. The guy. I'm not sure if you. Yeah, you can't have a conversation.
No, you cannot. Yeah, he'll be shouting and yelling at you. Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Very shouty guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who claims he claims that he uses surveying equipment every single day on his job site, uses auto levels and all this stuff, but he continues to ask every single day asks the same question: how to use these tools to measure drop from horizontal.
Yeah.
Yet he's trained. He's trained on these equipment.
And everybody in GeoServer, they're all expert surveyors too, I assume.
Oh yes.
Well, and they're also really experts at the
No, not
sections
Geos.
too.
In Bev server.
Oh,
Well, I was talking about Jeremy, wherever his panel of experts that he's going to go correct the averages.
No, they're not. They're not very expert at all.
No,
they are not very expert. They are very, 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 very expert.
Yes, very, very expert.
I mean, my father was a civil engineer for 30 years, and if he looked at any of these guys' equation, they would say, "Yeah, you're not hired on my job site, so go somewhere else, please."
We got a big audience. There's 63 people watching. 62, 63. That's excellent, man. Appreciate
double
it.
that.
We need 6 more. We
Yeah.
need 6 more.
I mean, how can you claim that you're trained on this equipment and if I show you something in a document in a manual that clearly says you have to account for something, are you just gonna not believe it because it goes against your narrative? I mean, you're supposed to be trained on this piece of equipment, right? If I go in a surveying manual and there's a section that says, "Oh, this is how you account for curvature and refraction," is that a lie?
Just so it shows how dishonest they are. They cannot admit anything. Any admission will cause their buddies to go against them. They can't do that.
All right, I gotta.
The curvature and the refraction is a lie.
They never read a manual.
I gotta throw a big
okay.
shout out going in Pronon Sway. Pronon 1990 with $1.99 super chat. Just another show that shows flat Earth stupidity. Shout out to Pronon.
It's
Gary,
true,
can you repeat what you said? What's a lie, Gary? What was that?
Yeah.
Curvature and refraction is a lie.
To what B-Ball said, it's not a correction for refraction and curvature. It's a correction for compression.
Right.
Perspective
So all the
compression,
manuals are incorrect, right?
Yeah, they just label it correctly. You still get the same measurements. It's just that you labeled them different.
Is compression
You pretend they're curve and refraction when it's really just perspective compression.
Is compression refraction?
Wait, go ahead.
No, it's not refraction. You labeled it differently. That's my point. You're missing the point.
So it's a different label, but is it the same effect?
The same effect, yes. That's why I said all along. You guys have turned a circle ball or a circle flat Earth into a ball. The math works similar. It creates the same angles, but you label it differently.
Show how the math works.
You label it curve and refraction, and I say it's perspective compression.
Again, so you just said that compression is a refraction, is a type of refraction. So
I did
why
not
you
say compression is refraction? Why do you guys always mislabel what I say?
I asked you before.
I said
so
you guys call it refraction
wait.
because you think that it's bending up when it's really it's not bent up at all. It's just
okay.
compressed.
Is a mirage a compression or is a mirage a refraction?
A mirage is just a mirror image. It's where you don't have a.
So what is a compression?
Makes a mirage.
And what's a compression, please?
Compression is when the angles become too narrow. And you can't, and it happens more than distance, obviously, right?
Sorry, guys. I made a mistake in the chat. I got thick fingers, and I did Sean Hawkins. I didn't mean to do any of that. My bad. You all said. I ban and block and hit Sean Hawkins by mistake. I was grabbing my phone and whoop. It happened. So, you all said, bro. Sorry.
So, Gary, can you demonstrate how every single surveying manual is incorrect mathematically?
No, I personally can't. Somebody will down the line. It won't be long. I'm not a mathematician, obviously. You guys all know that. I don't.
Why wasn't
that? You just claimed that
Gary,
math.
Okay, now you're interrupting my answer. Thank you. Oh, yeah,
hold on.
When you guys can let me finish all my stuff, then I will talk. Otherwise, I'm just going to
finish. Go ahead, finish.
No, I'm going to mute because you guys can't. You guys interrupt constantly.
All right, let me read this then. So we can get a little bit of order. Tusk with a £3 super chat. A small donation towards Rakia's Range Fund. Thank you very much. Damn, no name. Why did you time Sean Hawkins out? That's so fucked up. That's so wrong, man. Don't stop trolling, guys.
So
Come
I think
on.
Do you mind if I'll ask Gary a few questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Gary, I have a question about
I'll go on
perspective. Do you mind answering them? A few questions?
If you don't interrupt my answer.
No, I won't. Let's say we're in a very long corridor. Very, very long corridor. You're in one end and I'm on the other. Above you, there's a light. That light is causing my body to cast shadow behind me. I'm on one side of the corridor and you're on the other side. Will my shadow ever be taller than myself?
What's that got to do with anything? Actually, it will. If the light, the farther you are from the light, the longer your shadow will be. Yes.
I asked if will the shadow ever be taller than me?
That would be taller than you. If it's longer, it's taller than you, right?
No. The shadow is being cast on the wall behind me, right? I'm on the corridor. I'm on the edge of the corridor. You on the other edge of the corridor.
Okay. If there's a wall there, no, it won't be taller than you.
Okay, so
You didn't say a wall. You just said a corridor.
Correct. I said a corridor, and
So
I said
your shadow on a long corridor would be on the floor.
I want to give a big, massive shout out to, again, I'm going to read Tusk. Super chat by £3. A small donation towards Rakia's Range Fund. We just 96.99 away for that, Tusk. Thank you very much. And we got Doofus Manfred with a big $5 super chat. Thank you to Doofus Manfred. I appreciate that. Curvature, and I quote, this is a quote. Curvature and refraction mathematically is the same as angular compression. Gary Waibenga, a flat earther in denial. Thank you very much, Doofus. I appreciate that, brother.
The cloud that's higher in elevation over the surface than Everest, and close by in between the sun and Everest, it would cast a shadow on Everest. Is that difficult to understand?
Do you think there's ever nights or days without clouds?
This is a very important message I got. Hashtag,
okay, show me a
Gary,
shadow on Everest.
Gary, damn it. Hashtag Free Hawkins with a super chat by Big Blue. Hashtag Free Hawkins, everybody. You're all set, Sean. You should be back anytime now. Thank you, Blue. I'm done.
Gary, do you want to see it? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't look. I'm driving. Post it in the.
Okay, so you're saying again, just to be sure, you're saying there's always clouds around Everest? Always?
Are you driving or
Did
traveling?
I say that? Did I? I am driving. Traveling, that works the same.
You said that if there was a cloud, it would cast a shadow. Not that there's always clouds.
Correct. So, but every night there's a shadow that goes from the bottom of Everest to the top of it. What's casting that shadow?
That's not a shadow. That's just the sun moving away. It's like the last thing that will be seen will be the top, because that's got the highest angle to the sun in the distance.
Okay, so
that's not a shadow. That's just an absence of light.
Okay,
shadow is a completely different thing.
Okay, so does light have a terminating line? So if I shed a light, after a certain point, it just stops? It just turns into darkness?
Yes.
Wow. Thank you.
Let me read one comment, because I read this for the audience, but maybe Gary have a comment on this. There was a super chat by Doofus Manfred, and say, and I quote, curvature and refraction mathematically is the same as angular compression. That's Gary Waibenga, a flat earther in denial. Got any thoughts on that?
No, I don't answer questions from him. He can waste his money.
All right, big shout out to Anamorphic Mind for $2 super chat. Hashtag free the nip. Oh, wait, I mean hashtag Free Hawkins! Thank you, Anamorphic Mind. The nip is free.
Hey Gary, so I know you're driving. I doubt you'll ever check it, but there's some videos here showing, nights or clouds. Sky without clouds on Everest, and there's a shadow.
And that's because the sun is out of view, isn't it? Does it have a line of sight to the sun?
Well, how tall is Everest? You tell me.
Does it? It doesn't matter. It can be as high as you want it to be. The sun has a distance where it simply vanishes into the vanishing zone.
Okay.
And if you don't have a direct line of sight, you have darkness, not a shadow.
Okay. One more question.
29,000 feet, I think.
Gary, I got a question. If I bring a telescope to the top of Mount Everest and looking where the sun should be, should I see the sun or not? With a telescope.
Is it still light up there?
No. At night.
Well, then you won't see the sun.
Yeah, why not?
And you won't. Because it's too far and you don't have a direct line of sight. It's too far. The angle's too small. That's why you see it resolve or become unresolvable bottom first into the vanishing zone. It's simply a limit of your field of view.
So you're actually saying that a light goes X amount of distance and then it just stops?
Have you ever noticed headlights of a car as far away you can barely see?
Correct. But
if when they're close, they're bright.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Those far away lights cast a shadow on something.
Wait. Can I answer now? So what I can do, I can go and take a telescope and look at the very, very far point, and I'll see lights all of a sudden. Lights that I didn't see before.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, exactly. So how come I don't see the sun?
Because it's too low. It's too low of an angle for you to see the sun. It's in the vanishing zone.
Okay, so the sun actually
lowered. Resolve it. There is not enough angle when it gets far away. That's why it becomes unresolvable bottom first. And when you can't see the sun, you will not have light. It will be dark. It won't be a shadow. It will be dark.
So the sun is okay. So is the sun lower than Everest at nighttime?
Nope. It just melts into that vanishing zone, which is right above eye level for you. And then,
you just said it's lower.
Just like
you just said it's lower.
No, I didn't say it was lower.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so if I go on Mount Everest and I take a telescope and I look towards India and I zoom in with a telescope, I will see cars with lights, something that I won't see if I just with the naked eye. How come it doesn't work with the sun?
The sun is just too far away. The angle, you see the sun slant down in the sky towards eye level, right?
Do you know what a telescope is?
Really eye level, or is that space between the sun and the surface becomes too compressed, and that's why it bottoms out first, bottom first.
Who talks about bottoms up, bottoms first? I'm not talking about the moment where the sun
disappears. It's got a limit based on elevation above the surface.
About elevation,
the farther out it is, but there comes a limit for everything.
Okay, so there's a limit for everything. So I take a telescope that will show me the sun, right, on daytime, and will show me the moon, and will show me the moon at nighttime. You telling me that it still cannot resolve a sun from the light? Correct?
Yeah, say that again.
So I take a telescope that shows me everything. I can see Venus. I can see
yes,
wait. Which are
I understand what you said now. You don't have to say the whole thing again. I understand what you said.
Oh, I thought you asked him to repeat it.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. You already
because I didn't understand the whole thing. Now I understand what he was getting.
Okay, so that's why I said a telescope. You can take a telescope that can resolve very, very far things away, including cars in India that I will not see with a naked eye at nighttime. I will take a telescope and all of a sudden I see cars with lights. How come it doesn't work on the sun?
Because those cars are close compared to the sun. The sun is much further away, right?
Really? So how far is the sun?
My estimate, probably 4,000 miles above above its subsolar point.
4,000 miles, and you think my telescope can resolve that?
Solar point. Get it all right, or you will mess up later.
I understand how I will mess up later, but
let's just go on record. You'll change it into something else if you don't get the whole thing right.
Say that again. Say that again. Gary, say that again.
The sun, at every point of the day, the sun has a subsolar point, right? Wherever it's directly overhead.
No, subsolar point. What is that?
It's wherever the sun is directly overhead at the current time.
Okay, can I have 20 seconds? Can I have 20 seconds?
So what you tell? Okay, so you're telling me?
Can I have 20 seconds, please? 20 seconds.
I have 20 seconds.
I need 20 seconds that you let me speak. Please.
Go ahead.
The Collector has subscribed. Shout out to the Collector. And Tusk had a £2 super chat. And there's a tune over here that I don't know, but all we are saying is give Sean a chance. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Boom. That's it. Go ahead.
Gary, I totally agree with you. So at noon, the sun is right above me. Let's say I'm on Everest and the sun is right above me. And then night came and the sun is above someone else, right? Now, you're saying I can't see the sun because it's far away from me. Yes, it got nothing. Does it still got anything to do with the altitude of the sun?
No. Okay, let's say the sun's right above you, right? Point your hand straight up in the air at that sun. Now follow that sun as it moves away. Where does your hand go? Where will you end up pointing?
Yeah, in front of me.
Yes, and anything below you, let's say you're on the top of Mount Everest doing this, everything below you in the distance will end up where? If you point down to the bottom of Mount Everest and then you point somewhere a little farther in the distance and a little farther, where does your hand eventually go to?
You mean where it's pointing?
Yes, the angle of your arm. Point to the ground in front of you, then point to the ground in the distance.
It will point to the horizon, yes?
Yes, okay. So you have a point there in the distance where you have a limit of visibility.
Which is lower than me. It's lower than me.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be at your, it's going to appear at your eye level. You're not going to distinguish it.
No, it's lower than me.
It's going to look at eye level.
No, it's lower than me.
Is going to look at
Everest. I'm on Everest. I'm 8 kilometers high. Obviously, it's below me.
It doesn't matter. That land will still be at your eye level. It'll be, well, if I don't correct
eye level?
Now, they'll say, it's at eye level. It'll be just below eye level. But if you draw a line from your eye level instead of 90 degrees, if you draw it at 89.9999, where's that going to be?
Wait, is it below eye level or at eye level?
Okay. This guy can't understand anything I say.
It's okay. Let me get 30 more seconds over here. 30 more seconds. John Rapp. Shout out to John Rapp for $2 Australian. What's the angle force that sucks down vision, Gary? Angle force.
It's just the limit at center frame, or the limit of the angle subtended to the eyes from an object. But the center frame of your view is also a limit. That's why if you're standing at sea level, it's got one limit. If you go climb on Mount Everest, it's much further away, right? Because now the angles are different and you're higher above the surface. So that far horizon where the vanishing point is way further in the distance.
Wait, but where is the sun?
Things become unresolvable.
What's the height of the sun?
God damn it.
What's the height of the sun?
Let me fucking speak. I had 2 comments. That was the first one. Let Gary speak without interruptions, and I got one more question for Gary. Then you guys can carry on, please. Fuck's sake. Fuck. Ben Delight for $5. Thank you, Ben Delight. Gary, where is your demonstration in reality that proves you're not just pulling shit out of your ass? Damn.
They use it in everyday perspective drawing. They just copy and imitate reality. You have everything foreshortens in the distance. The angles compress. It's like let's say you have a protractor or whatever. Let's just say you look straight up and then you get a 10 degree angle of sky there, right? Now, if you take that same 10 degree angle and you point it towards the horizon, which one's going to cover more distance?
Thank you very much. I appreciate you addressing the super chats. Yeah, appreciate it. Guys can carry on. I am Gary. Oh, I just reading what's on screen right now. Guys. I'm gonna stay another 10, 15 minutes and then I gotta wrap it up. Maybe a little more because I know there's a grocery on the way and I have to probably mute myself and let you guys have the floor for a few minutes. Then we'll wrap it up. Boom.
All right. So when you're pointing at the sun as it goes above you, and then it gets to the horizon, which way do you point when you don't see the sun anymore?
You just keep pointing at the same direction it was going.
Which is
okay, but
at eye level. You're not. It's compressed into it. It's still at eye level, or it's still the same elevation above the surface. It's just too far, and that's where the angles will take you
let's
to
say 5
until they
hours.
become unresolvable. Okay, you interrupted my answer. Enough with you again. I'm done with you for today. Someone else can speak. I'm not going to put up with your shit anymore. So that's it. If you interrupt me in my answer, I'm not gonna deal with you anymore.
Let me.
You did nothing but
Gary has to
interrupt.
allow.
That is so easy, right? It's so much fun.
Too many people talking.
Gary has to allow people to respond. The problem with Gary is he responds, right? But he never ever comes to an end and lets anyone else respond after that. So that's why he always thinks that people interrupt him, because he pauses, and that's when we want to try and respond, he continues and continues.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, you know. Yeah,
I think we've all been a bit. We've all been just quick on the trigger.
It's just like his
I'm
pointing arm. He cannot. He doesn't know where he's pointing, right?
All right, let me read this. Let me read two comments. This one's gonna be quick. Is kind of just feedback. It's not questions exactly, but anamorphic mind for $2. Responsible trolling is allowed. Hells to the yeah, it is. Anamorphic mind. Thank you very much. And Sean Hawkins for a big $5 super chat. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. And he says, Gary is incapable of being honest. That's why he ran away from my question and blocked me on his YouTube channel. Cowardice proven. Damn, did you do that, Gary? Block Sean over there? You shouldn't block him, man. It's always fun to have the opposite view, you know, that archie enemy.
I do not have Sean blocked.
I got a story for you guys. Before I was kicked from the 24/7. There was a guy there called Get Beget, and I brought these questions to him, and he was talking about what Gary said, that the light from the sun has some sort of a limit, and that guy said that when the sunlight gets to that limit, the light turns 180 degrees and goes back to the source. Gary, I gotta ask you, do you agree with Get Beget? Does the light from the sun, when I don't see it on the top of Everest, does that mean that the light shines towards me and then just turns back, or it just dissipates? Like, what happens to that light? Please explain.
You don't even make the bit of sense.
He's talking about the flat Earth elastic light theory.
You said the sun is too far. Can you please tell me what actually happens to the light when it gets too far? Yes, I'm asking the question.
That's like 3 straight times where he interrupted. Okay. Will he admit that the sun becomes dimmer as it moves away from you in the daytime, as it moves towards the horizon?
No,
will he admit that the sun... No, you shut up. You just interrupted me. Will he also admit that the sun isn't as bright when it first comes up as it will be at midday? And then he can kind of understand what light extinction is. You simply, when you don't have an angle anymore, it's simply going to extinguish into that vanishing zone. You're not going to see it. It's already been dimming before it ever even gets there. We see it every day. We call it twilight or whatever. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but we see the sun naturally start to dim. The sky starts to dim before it ever sets.
Okay.
So the sunlight is limited. Okay.
The floor open. Exactly. Are you done, Gary?
Yeah, but I'm not talking to you. You interrupt too much.
I think.
So really quick, you notice how Gary didn't answer the question.
Exactly.
He answered it with asking another question.
Oh, that's typical tactic, though. But I mean, I think the funny thing is regardless of whether you want to say that it's a bit brighter at noon than it is at sort of dawn and dusk, what I observe being near the coast on pretty much, a daily basis is the sun majestically setting into the sea. And I see the same thing, and the moon even more so, because you don't have the glare. And I don't have a problem with the fact that it's a bit dimmer at dawn and dusk, because it's a bit like shining a torch across the floor, isn't it? If you've got a spotlight, it's brighter than it is if you've got it at an angle. So, again, I don't kind of see the point of making it. None of this actually demonstrates flat Earth. None of it demonstrates that it's disappearing into a vanishing point. And I would like to see the science that sits behind your claim.
And we see the sun and the moon both compressing vertically as they near the horizon. Thank you to Wolfie and Bob the Science Guy, who have both said so.
But the interesting thing about the sun dimming, or rather the energy being less during the very, very early hours or late evening hours, twofold. One, it's going through more refraction. Two, like just said, at that angle, the distribution of the energy is over a larger surface area. However, very interesting thing, if you get a lux meter and you disregard the 5 degrees elevation at the horizon at either end of the rising or setting, it's pretty constant.
Yep.
Not only that, I find it really weird that you're saying that it's like emitting less energy or anything like that. The sun is still above someone else. It's only to the observer, right? The person who's Gary saying is too far. Gary, please answer the question. What happens to the actual light? Let's call it photon. What happens to the light when it gets too far from the sun? Why can't I see it? What happens to the light? I don't want to hear about the angles, and I don't want to hear about the, compression. What happens to the light?
That might be his answer.
That is my answer. He wants me to answer with something that's
so we
not
gotta
my
hear
answer.
his answer.
Anyway.
Ridiculous.
He didn't answer, so I'm asking again.
Well, okay. You might not
So
like the
I just
answer,
make
but we
something
gotta
up
hear
now
it.
that does-
No, go ahead. Give your answer. He might not like it, but let's try not to interrupt him because we
Yeah,
don't
I've
like the
already
answer,
said it a million times on the show. The sun slants down towards your eye level, just like perspective calls for. It simply becomes compressed into that vanishing zone to the point where you can't see it. It's bottom first because the bottom part of the sun is what touches that part of the angle quickest. The first, not the top. The top is further from that vanishing zone than the bottom. The bottom is going to touch first. It's going to start just simply, you cannot resolve it. It's got nothing to do with its size or the amount of light. There's just not enough visual angle. It just simply extinguishes.
But it only compresses.
Wait,
It only
you said
compresses.
it's vanishing. Wait, sorry. You said it's vanishing bottom first. You still understand I'm on top of Mount Everest. Does the sun
Doesn't
still
matter.
disappear? So the sun still disappeared bottom first if I'm on Everest?
Yes, everything does. It compresses into the vanishing zone. You can stand on Mount Everest. If you got a very clear day, your vanishing zone is going to be right there by your eye level. The sun's going to compress into that.
So eye
So why
level
can't
means
you
vanishing
see Sri
zone?
Lanka? Can I ask this question? So if you're on top of Mount Everest, you can see the sun going down. Why can't you see Sri Lanka from
Sri
Everest?
Lanka's on
It's only
much smaller.
2,380 kilometers away. If the sun's 4,000 kilometers away,
It's
and
also low to the
unresolvable,
ground. It's already compressed. Distance already has that compressed into the vanishing zone.
Oh, what an excuse.
Like the same reason you can't see Spain from across the New York City, across the Atlantic Ocean.
if Earth was flat, you should be able to see Sri Lanka because it's really flat. You got like Bangladesh and Eastern India is the only thing in the way. Yeah,
Also,
you should be able to see Sri Lanka from Everest.
No, you're not going to. Depends on how many miles. I don't know where Sri Lanka is in relation to Everest. I can't make that statement.
I'll give you a clue. It's south.
It doesn't matter. That's not what I said. I said I don't know the distance.
And most importantly, it's the
Are you
distance, not
claiming
the
that the
direction,
sun
but the
compresses
distance.
completely at the horizon?
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's closer than your sun.
Yeah, and it's already got that low visual angle to the vanishing zone. It's closer to the ground, right? Whatever's closer to the ground is going to be the first thing that vanishes. It's going to be long gone before the sun does. The sun's much higher.
Gary, are you claiming that the sun compresses completely at the horizon?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
in
compresses,
the smushy zone.
into the vanishing zone. The sun itself isn't compressed at all.
So then why does it maintain its size? And
It doesn't. It shrinks vertically when it's near the horizon. Ask Wolfie or Bob, a science guy.
It shrinks to about 3%, and then
vertically
It
because of the
shrinks
horizon.
vertically because it shrinks vertically because it's entering into that vanishing zone. It's angling down to it. It's going to shrink vertically.
Yeah,
May I just
It's
one
not going to
second, guys.
shrink much at all because of its distance.
Excuse me a
The
minute.
sheer distance alone,
Excuse me a
the angle change is going to be minute for you.
One second, guys. I want to say. So you're saying that Bob claims that the sun compresses vertically at the horizon to the vanishing point. Is that what Bob, the science guy, is actually saying? Because I don't
He
think
said he said it compresses vertically when it nears the horizon, and so did Wolfie. Wolfie even has the video to show it, and they played it. Hosea played it on this show.
Hold on, Steve
and measured
Rodino,
it
you go
on
after
this
him.
show.
Definitely.
And
The
what?
sun does
Okay, wait,
about
Earth is
3%
live.
vertically.
Wait, Steve Rodino is trying to say something for the past 5-10 minutes. And
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
please.
don't mean to. The sun does compress about 3% from top to bottom, but maintains the angular size left to right. As it sets in that same angular size, it no longer compresses.
Did you hear what you just said?
Yes, I know exactly what I just said.
It doesn't change in angular size, but it shrinks vertically. Okay,
You
well
know what
that's
angular
a
size
change
is,
in
Gary?
angular size. I don't care what you say it
So, Gary,
or how you try to
Gary,
disguise it. What you just said
wait,
is
what's
it
the
shrinks, but it doesn't
left and
shrink.
right?
Okay, you're interrupting my
Your
answer.
Your incredulity is not a point against it.
All right,
That wouldn't have anything to do with the atmosphere, would it?
Yes, the atmosphere is at a low angle. Yes, it extinguishes into the atmosphere, doesn't it?
Hold on,
It
Steve.
compresses into the atmosphere and the vanishing zone where you just simply can't resolve it. It's bottom first.
All right,
Because that's the angle. The
When you're
angle to
done.
the bottom is closest to the ground. Sorry.
No, when you're done, hold on, Steve. There's a posting here by Sleeping Warrior, and he say yes, they physically shrink in size as they move away from you. This is why a 10-foot wall is not a 10-foot when it's a mile away. You cannot even see it. It's physically shrink from your perspective. Do you agree with that, Gary? Because he say Gary is right. You're wrong again.
No, it does not shrink actually.
Well, the Sleeping Warrior say that you are right.
Shout to Sleeping Warrior.
Well, I'm right about everything else. I don't agree with what he just said. If he said that, I didn't.
Well, he said that's what he takes from what you say. That's what he takes from.
Well,
what you say.
if he says it actually shrinks, then he's wrong. It's just a visual. It's visual. It's optical. The angles are subtended to your eyes become more and more narrow. It makes it look smaller. It places it in its proper place in your field of view.
All right, let's hear Dross. You posted that, Dross. What's up with that Sleeping Warrior quote?
Well, I just wanted to say, Sleeping Warrior, you're about 2,500 years out on where you think the Iron Age is. That was it.
I just want to mention one thing to the room real quick because I know Gary won't hear it. But if we were talking about Everest and the sun setting, it's worth noting that the horizon is measurably lower than eye level. There's that difference there. So if we can see the sun setting to the horizon, we can see the sun below our eye level, which perspective states should not be possible if the sun is above our altitude over a flat surface. So that's another thing.
Correct. Not only that, Gary's doing what Chemo is always doing, which is basically taking vanishing point and horizon and combine them as the same thing. He doesn't understand that vanishing point, it doesn't matter where you look, you have a vanishing point. And horizon is something different.
And I've never said otherwise. I've always said that.
You
can have a vanishing, you can have a vanishing zone with it.
It's okay. You
yes, I am
confused
right
it.
now.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll forgive you for that.
So I want to ask Gary, if the sun is 4,000 miles at solar, whatever, above the ground,
How far away is it at sunset?
About 6,200 miles from your place, wherever you're at.
So a
62,
third,
6,300 miles.
So about a third further away. Well, wouldn't that dictate the perspective? Wouldn't that dictate that the sun should actually decrease in angular size by 1/3?
No, because it's already far away and it's small. It's not gigantic like you think. So it's already small. It's already far away. Things far away don't change. Things far away don't change at the same rate as things close by. It's a parallax effect. A car close by you. Okay, am I going to be interrupted by 3 different people again?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
We gotta let Gary finish this point, and then Left Lane, if he got any other follow up, I want to hear Left Lane follow up because this is his point. Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, let's say there's a car in front of you. Now you just pull over and watch it drive off in the distance. It changes rapidly, but then as it gets far away, that change is very slow, and it's very hard to notice anymore because it's far away. The angles are very little subtended to your eye. There's very little change, and that's why you don't see much change. And that's why the sun seems to be about the same size all through the sky, except for at the horizons, because all through the sky, it's not that much difference from when it's straight across from you or a little bit to one of the sides compared to when it gets all the way to the horizons. And that's why you see it when it gets as it goes near the vanishing zone, it compresses into that vanishing zone, and you can see the sun compresses vertically because the bottom touches that first.
Wrap it up and Left Lane. What do you think? Hold on. Left Lane got a follow up here.
Yeah, I would just disagree with that. The laws of perspective work from right in front of you all the way to the point. I guess you would call the diffraction limit. It decreases, half the size with double the distance, as far away as you can see it. Can I say something really quick?
No, I don't. I'm not talking to you. Nope. I'm not talking to you.
Anyway, all right. Tell me something. I want to hear. Yeah, he's not talking to you, Gary, but he's going to talk. Go ahead, Ertis Light.
So my question is, if the sun is 4,000 miles directly above me at noon, and at sunset it's 6,000 miles away, you don't think it should make any type of angular size change?
I don't
think it does. It shrinks vertically. I'll answer that one question for you. It shrinks vertically. Wolfie has a video to show it. It's been played on this show, and Wolfie has admitted it, and so has Bob Science Guy, saying it shrinks vertically.
You're a liar, Gary.
You want me to link them in? I'll link them. I'll put them in the thing. I got to find Bob's, but he said it right on this show.
Okay, good question. Good answer. Now,
Now you got one. That's the one. I gave you a bonus free prize.
But I want to hear his question, even if you don't want to answer. Go ahead, Ertis Light.
Does that same effect happen to other objects like buildings or boats or anything like that? Does it not change size left to right, only vertically?
Yeah, it pick and choose perspective.
While 4,000 miles in the air.
Perspective works in mysterious ways. It picks and chooses how it would behaves when in flat Earth, people. That would be the answer.
God damn it. That's part of perspective.
Yeah, pick and choose how to behave in different situations.
I got another question, Gary.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Gary, what is the further away that me as a human here on Earth can be away from the sun? What's the further away I can be from the sun?
Yeah, I don't know.
I say 93 million miles away.
You don't know. So you've been doing this for 6 years and you don't know what's the further. So you don't know where the sun is. Do you know where the sun is? How you don't know what's the further away I can be from the sun? You don't know that?
Yeah, I haven't looked at that particular thing, and I just said I don't know what the answer is right now. So okay, here we go. Here you got your answer.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Another question. So if the sun is 4,000 miles above me at noon, what angle should it be at from your location?
Okay, he's not answering you, so I'll ask another question. Yeah, hey, Gary, so when I look at the sun, and let's say I'm very far away from it, can I see things that are beyond the sun, behind it, like stars? Are the stars behind the sun or further away from the sun?
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're going to see the stars when the sun is up?
No, I asked if the sun is very far away from
You just asked if I can see something further than the sun.
Correct. The sun will be at point X at the skies, and then nighttime comes. Will the stars be further away than where the sun was?
Oh, I think they're a little further, not much.
Okay, so with a telescope, I can see those stars, or those whatever
Yeah.
you want to call them, yet you're telling me that a telescope cannot show me the sun at nighttime, correct?
No, the stars, what do they do when they get near the horizon? Just like what the sun does, right?
Who talks about the horizon? How the horizon got to do with anything?
Okay, if they're high in the sky, you can see them. When they near the horizon, what happens?
Right, so why can't
Just
I
like
see the sun?
They do the same thing with the sun.
Quick question, Gary. If somebody commented on your latest video, are you able to see that comment now, or be with too much multitasking?
Who's somebody?
Sean Hawkins commented on your latest video because he say his comments don't
I'll
appear.
look later.
Yeah, but his comments don't appear in any
Well,
of his videos. So that
I
means
can
that
show
he's
you
blocked.
my block list if you want. I can post my block list. He won't be on it.
No, yeah, no need. But yeah, take a look at that because there are two block lists. There's one block list on actually Google on your Google settings, and that's separated from the YouTube block list. If you got somebody blocked on the Google, it will not show the comments. I found that out recently, just recently. So yeah, just
I don't know. You have
in another time.
The other one's in YouTube Studio.
there was a guy. I can't think of his name right now. It'd be a guy you guys know, but he was saying the same thing that I had him blocked on everything. But he turns out later it was on his end, not mine.
All right.
He actually apologized on a show.
So good, yeah. Yeah, Sean, just make sure
I
that
think
you
it was
actually
David.
don't have him blocked on your block list, And if not that, I don't know. Hopefully everything gets sorted out by YouTube. I had that
Actually, I
issue
think
for
I
a
am
while.
blocked on Sun.
Gary, I got a question. So let's say I'm looking at the sunset, right? It's sunset, and I'm looking at the sun, and behind it, where the sun was, the sunset done. Now all of a sudden I see stars where the sun was. I assume you think, or you agree with, would you agree with me that those stars are further away than where the sun was?
Yeah, and that's why you would see them. They were also higher in the sky, so you would see them a little bit longer.
Okay, so please explain to me again why my telescope why can't I see the dot of the sun at nighttime with a telescope?
Because your angle at the vanishing zone is too narrow. You just simply can't. It compresses into that zone. You also have atmosphere. It just has atmospheric extinction as well as compression into that vanishing zone. You got two things.
And let's say I'm on Mount Everest. That means I'm 8 kilometers in altitude, which means there's nothing below me, right? It's all clear, and I'm putting my telescope to where the sun should be. Please tell me, why can't I see the sun? Why can't I see that dot?
I've told you at least 5 or 6 times. So what's the sense of repeating the same thing again? I've already told you numerous times. You want me to give it a different this time?
Yes, please give me a different way. Please explain it in a different way. No, do it. Do it. Can you explain it in a different way?
We're getting very close.
I explained it multiple
thank
ways
you.
the same way.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
We're getting very close to the end. Left lane. One last point over here. What you got?
Yes. In addendum to that question, how high would I have to be at midnight to me? How high would I have to be to actually see the sun?
Say 100 miles away will do.
I don't know.
100 miles away from the Earth will do. Or we'll see it
I have no idea.
all the way
And
around.
if you were 100 miles,
right?
If you were 100 miles up, you would see it much further.
But not
Than
always.
if you were on the top of Mount Everest.
How high do you think I should be to see the sun always 24 hours all the time, because it's in a flat surface? I gotta be above the highest mountains, I guess. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, far above.
Let's say
I have no idea, but if you were 100 miles above Mount Everest, you would see it for much further than if you were sitting at the top of Mount Everest.
What if you're 4,000 miles up?
Oh, you should always see
it all the time, right?
Always.
Let me know when you get 4,000 miles up.
If I guesstimate right,
No,
it should be you'll see the sun for about another 250 miles maximum at 100 miles higher.
All right, so 1,000 miles will do. 1,000 miles, I should be able to see the sun at all times, 100% of the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week, always.
No, because what you get is you get complete darkness after sunset, maybe 15, 20 minutes after
On a flat
sunset,
Earth,
it's completely dark.
if I'm 1,000 miles away from the Earth, I should be able to see the sun always.
Are you saying that Gary is saying that the sun is a flashlight? That means, or it's not a flashlight. Is it the point of light, or is it directional light.
It's
Is that the source? Like the source? The source throws
line of sight light for you.
I have a question for you, Gary. I was wondering if you knew that all of your theories won't actually work with a sextant, and if you ever tried to use a sextant. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you that.
No, I don't know much about a sextant, but they're just perspective angles, and that's why you can use the sun or Polaris for them. They're both about the same height above the surface. You can use either one. You have to use the sun though when it's either due south or due north of your position.
You know what I just found out, Gary, that you might be a Freemason, and correct me if I'm wrong, but listen to this. 4,000 miles by 6,200 miles is a 33-degree angle. 33 degrees, bro. Freemason confirmed.
Maybe that's where the Freemasons get it.
Oh,
Where's
shit.
the paycheck?
I'm not a Freemason.
Let's do some final thoughts, guys. I gotta get out of here. It's been a solid 3 hours. I apologize to everybody again. I'm doing this stream using my laptop, which is slow, old. It doesn't have much memory. I'm pushing it to the limits. Hopefully, hopefully everything works out. I mean, everything worked out so far. It's not the best, but we're gonna have to do this until I figure out how to fix my main PC and do a better stream. Thank you everybody for the support in the YouTube chat box. There was a few new subscribers, a bunch of super chats, PayPal hit earlier. Thank you very much everybody for your support. Don't forget to hit the like and the first comment in the comment section on every single video and post in this channel will be pinned if it's okay and if it follows YouTube community guidelines. If it's okay for be pinned, just any comment will be pinned if it's the first. And thank you to all the panelists that were here earlier and had to leave. And thank you all for still hanging in here. You guys can stay for as long as you want. I just want to get a round of final thoughts. Everybody will have a chance to speak. While one person speak, please, anybody interrupt, please. We will begin with Alkay. Your final thoughts. All right. Let's go to the next, which is Blue Marble Science. Your final thoughts.
She's muted.
Bogoff. Final thoughts.
Cheers, Jose. Entertaining as usual. I thought it was a really good show until Gary started chatting. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you very much. Good to hear you. Bro, Alem.
Yeah, fun show. I've heard sun does lots of things. It smushes, it mushes. Today we heard that it melts. So we have a melting sun phenomenon today. That's awesome. I could just imagine, being on the deck of the ship with Magellan. Like, oh man, that's some heavy melting there. They're gonna end up crashing the ship. And
all right. Thank you
Hello,
very much.
Jose.
Hey, Alkay, you back. Final thoughts, man.
Yeah, mic wasn't working there. I don't know why. I was just going to say, first of all, Gary's entire concept of perspective is bullshit. The angular size of something is affected in totality. You cannot have an object moving away from you and maintain angular size as it does so. The only way it's going to do that is if the movement is in a circle around you. And he is welcome to try and demonstrate with any physical object getting further away from it and the angular size not changing and then suddenly rapidly disappearing bottom up. You'll never be able to do it. And his vanishing zone nonsense about how it affects certain angles and stuff like that is completely ruined by the laws of perspective again anyway, because if the sun was the point where the center of it was at eye level, then the top of the sun would be the same angle to his eyes as the bottom of the sun. So it should experience the same effect and start disappearing bottom up as well. And finally, he claims the sun is 4,000 miles high. It would never reach the horizon for an observer on Earth, especially one that's standing on the ground looking at a horizon that's effectively 3 miles away. As I've shown in a video before, I've worked out these angles and distances for perspective for various things, and for a 28,000 foot airplane it would need to be what was it? 50,000 miles away or something ridiculous. Let me double check. Sorry. Oh, getting mixed up. 15,000 miles away it would need to be before it touched the horizon, and that's only 28,000 feet. So if something was 4,000 miles high, you would never see it reach the horizon. It's just complete nonsense. That's all. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's go with Chaik. Final thoughts.
Hello, Jose. I was a bit late to the show, but lucky enough I got enough depth to keep me from going through withdrawals. Good show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do Gary, man, Gary. Final thoughts.
I gotta go, so I gotta be brief. But there's no definition of perspective that allows something that is above your altitude over a flat surface to ever appear below your eye level. And if we can see the horizon below eye level at altitude and the sun sets into it, then we have to either be above the sun or the Earth is not flat. That's it.
Boom. Thank you. Earth is life. Final thoughts.
So everything that the previous gentleman said is pretty much the same thing I was gonna say. I mean, if we can take pictures through a theodolite or an auto level and see the sun at eye level, then I mean, obviously we're looking at the sun at eye level, which can't happen because of perspective. I know Gary doesn't want to talk to me anymore because he knows that he's pretty much run into a wall. I mean, he doesn't want to move on from his little topic because I don't know why. I don't know why he doesn't want to move on. But also to Jeremy from earlier. Yeah, I gave you something months ago. You never looked at it, which shows exactly why no one really wants to have a conversation with you because you say you're gonna look into things and you never look into them, kind of like Lemon does. Anyway, Jose, great show. And I'll be in the after show. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Farmer's Boy, your final thoughts.
Wow. Yeah, that was quite something today. Not really got a lot to say. So thank you very much, and at least your laptop works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The show must go on. Appreciate it.
Oh yes.
Gary, final thoughts.
Yeah, Earth's life is simply just rude, and he lies outright. So when he says I say certain things which I never said, so that's why I choose not to respond to him. It's not that he's asking any trickier questions than anybody else. I mean, everybody else is pretty much saying the same things he's saying. I just refuse to talk to him. I'll give him a bonus once in a while, maybe. But as far as the one guy earlier said that I can't use the excuse that the sun is far away, so it won't change much in angular size. But that's your excuse. That's the globe excuse. You guys actually say that.
Thank you. Grubus Wybengubus. Final thoughts.
Hi, Jose. Yeah, I've kind of been listening in the background, but I'll be honest, I've been kind of playing Wordle with my family on WhatsApp the whole time.
Yeah, that's good.
So don't take any offense in that one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But,
Family time while YouTube time. That's good.
I just want to say, like, this whole idea that there is some kind of law of perspective, that doesn't exist. There are rules of perspective, and they apply to things like technical drawing and art. I don't think even science uses the rules of perspective. I could be wrong. I'm not a scientist, but somebody could correct me on that one. But that's all I have to say. Good job again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grubus. Appreciate it, man. J Mac, final thoughts.
Good show, Jose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Left Bro Lane.
Yeah, thanks, Jose. Great show. Good to have Jeremy come by and visit. Yeah, I guess we would call the sun not changing in angular size because it's further away, and big things that are far away don't obey the laws of perspective. I guess that would be like it's perspectificated as it moves further away, and the normal angular size that we would change in size we would see according to the regular laws of perspective are somehow inhibited, and that's puzzling. We get geometric proofs. Anyone that understands how things work, you know, no matter how high you get, I say no matter how high, there would be some point that the sun would be eclipsed and maybe would shine through. But you can't see the sun, Gary, because it's on the other side of the earth at midnight. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you very much, Left Lane. Appreciate it. Mars Mushrooms, final thoughts.
Thank you, Jose. Great show. Always a great show. And I'm glad I get to catch it sometimes. And the only thing I would have to say is to Gary, thank you for sticking by, hanging through this. We're all ganged up on you. That's really not great. But you stood by. You didn't run off like Lemon did. And Jeremy, that's great. So thank you.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. That was good. Marble Merman 90, final thoughts.
Oh, good show as always. Gary's just living in his own little world, little bubble that he doesn't want to get out of, which is fine, but you're still going to be wrong, Gary. And to Jeremy, I sent you a request earlier. Let's have a peaceful conversation, just you and me. Just very peaceful. We don't have to have a shouting match, but I'll just try to explain why you are wrong in a more civil way. But if you're going to get yelly, then I'll be yelly. But I am out of here, guys.
Thank you very much, man.
I'll probably be in the after show too, but for that, boom.
Boom, man. Thank you very much. We have Mojok Man here.
It's just, back of the napkin calculations. The sun goes from being, somewhat fully visible when it reaches the horizon to invisible in the span of 83 miles. I'm not sure how come that last 83 miles is so substantial as to take this super bright 129,000 lux light and make it disappear within 83 freaking miles. That's all.
Thank you very much. A message for Gary Venga. Earth's life is far from rude. Now, Mojok Man is a rude cunt. I can say it's a pussy too, but that's for another day. Sorry about that. I had to say it, Mojok Man.
That's okay.
We got Six Spider for final thoughts. Then that was so fucked up. Six Spider, what's up, man?
Hi, everybody. So I was a bit late. This was fun, as always. Another confirmation that if you're a flat earther, you are dishonest, you are lying, you have to lie to Flurf. It's you just have to do it. Another thing that you have to do is basically not know anything. It's just word salads about big words with perspective and compression. Doesn't mean anything, can't produce anything, can't demonstrate anything. This is it. Another confirmation. Gotta lie to Flurf. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Steve Rorino, final thought.
Thank you, Jose. Entertaining as usual. Gary, you might want to look up the 9th commandment one more time. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Thank you, man. The Kitsune Cavalier, final thoughts.
Gracias, Jose. Fun show. My final thought, in order to save on your bandwidth, I am sharing a link to an illustration rather than asking you to screen share it. Months ago, Rakia made a claim about us not being able to see anything beyond a given distance. Since then, I've had my eyes on an experiment done here on Earth that couldn't have been performed if light couldn't travel at least as far as the experiment required. When Albert Michelson measured the speed of light, his experiment required light to travel 71 kilometers or 44 miles, depending on which units you use. The light was transmitted from Lookout Mountain towards Mount Wilson, 35.5 kilometers away, where it bounced off of a mirror and returned to Lookout Mountain, meaning that it had traveled an additional 35.5 kilometers away. Throw the rest of the path and light traveled. Well, throw in the rest of the path that the light had to travel through the apparatus, and it's more than 71 kilometers or 44 miles. Thus, I feel safe in concluding that light can travel at least 71 kilometers or 44 44 miles. Thus, I also conclude that an observer watching a sunset or a ship disappearing from a height of, 6 or 12 feet over water isn't going to see it disappear due to it being too far away to be seen. Again, gracias, Jose. Boom.
Boom. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And before the Stingray, which is the last person in the call, we got Hold On Final Thoughts. Hold On says, earlier today, Gary chickened out from explaining long-haul fights in the Southern Hemisphere. He can't explain them. Boom. The Stingray. Final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
Can I just share my screen? It's really quick.
Go for it.
So, Gary, I want to introduce you to something. This is for you. It's a right-angle triangle calculator for you. Amazing, because if you put in the number 4,000 here, as in miles altitude for A, and then we say, well, we know the angular size of the sun apparent in our vision is 0.5 degrees. So for it to touch the surface, there'd have to be 0.25 degrees to it, to the center point of it. And then it will be touching the horizon. And if we press calculate, we see that B, we'd only have to be 916,726 miles away. That's awesome, right? Gary, I invite you to have a fucking discussion about this, just a one-on-one, and we'll try and get to the bottom of what it is you're trying to say. I really want to help you. I'm going to root for you. I do suspect we will fail, though. Cheers, Jose.
Thank you very much, the Stingray. I appreciate that. And one more time, thank you everybody for being in the call. I'm gonna drop from Discord so I can turn my camera on. I'll try to. Boom! Peace, everybody. Hails to the yeah. All right. Well, I guess that if I click in here, you guys should be able to see me and hopefully hear me. Hopefully. Thank you. Peace. Mercy. We are doing this in a slightly different way. I'm streaming via my laptop, which is being pushed to the extremes limits due to technical difficulties with my main computer. The show must go on. I'm gonna try to figure out what to do today in order to have a little bit of a smoother stream tomorrow. But we will be here, man, standing strong. I'm in a really tough situation economically. I haven't been able to pay I'm like 1 month behind of rent. I was counting on some money that I had accumulated on Google and YouTube, and that loss of my main channel have fucked me up. I'm like behind like 1 whole month on everything. Yeah, it was just a few $100s, but a few $100 that I don't have right now, and I totally lost. I'm trying to catch up. I have faith on that I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't want to lose this place. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. But positivism, keep smiling, and I ask the frogs to keep me focused and you guys to support me all the time. One more time, squeaky earth before we get out of here. And I say, Jose JG is gonna get out. I think we're gonna leave the stream today with the national anthem of Flat Earth is La La Land. Boom.
Here on the
Daily Boom,
a metal retardation center
Super Chat
will be built is to identify all of the causes of metal retardation and to develop more effective techniques of treatment and rehabilitation. The ability to prevent metal retardation is our ultimate goal. To reach this point,
the Daily Boom, the panelists and the viewers,
and the federal government have all come a long, long way.
Are we resorting to comedy hour now? Obviously, gravity. La La Land is reserved for special people that double speak, that say open is closed, closed is open. La La Land, we are in La La Land. Gravity, obviously. La La Land, La La Land, La La Land, we are in La La Land. Gravity, 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 obviously.
Boom.